up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination in the International Fake Station. I have my good friend Sum Ting Wong is here with me to make sure that everything is running smooth upon the IFS. Yes, the IFS. Well, we got a good little crowd going on in here already tonight. That's pretty good. Dose of Reality's here. I'm going to show your karaoke performance that you sent me earlier. I hope you don't mind Dose of Reality. We're going to get into who in the hell is Aiden Mattis. Another in, I guess they're putting the B string out, maybe even the C string, I guess. This is getting really bad for them. I saw somebody said in the chat earlier, what was this here? I'm going to give a shout out here. Saddle Bum's with us. What's up, my man? What's going on? We also got somebody said something about let's see. Yeah, there it was. LJ said that FTFE had a moon landing debate on Modern Day Debate, and he threw in the white towel in twice and didn't show up. Yeah, I was looking for it. I'd seen that Matters Now was running a pre-show or an after show or some kind of shit like that. But it's like, what the hell? Why didn't you show up? You know, what's going on? I'd like to know some more about that. None of them. Sav is my real grandfather. Yeah. You can't prove that. You probably can. You never know. I don't know, man. I've been around. But yeah, in this latest string of there's been some new ones popping up, and I don't know, maybe it's just I've never heard of this Aiden Mattis guy myself. We got quite a crew in here tonight, looking pretty good. 33 Illuminati confirmed. Be sure and hit that like button or hit the down button. I don't give a shit. Just hit a button. You know, we're all about buttons up here, as you can tell. Loose cords, buttons, and other haphazardly. What is that, a camera up behind me? It looks like it. And a laptop over here, I guess, just open, you know, because that's how we roll up here in outer space, guys. This is the way things roll around here. But anyway, yeah, he's kind of a retard. I'm going to go over a thing that he did the other day about Flatzoid. I don't know if you guys know who Flatzoid Perspective is, but if you don't, get over there and subscribe to Flatzoid. If one of my mods would be good enough to put Flatzoid's link in the chat so that everybody can check it out. If you're not subscribed to Flatzoid, then there's just something wrong with you. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. But yeah, Flatzoid's got a good show. Anyways, he was reacting to it. He immediately started off the whole thing by with insults. Now, I guess as he'd been talking biblical cosmology on another stream, and we were going over, and he really didn't cover anything, you know, and I guess this was what pissed him off, because as we had covered that, then he wanted to come in. But the weird thing about it was he was invited onto Flatzoid. The link was provided. It was open up there. Anybody could click it, just like you do here. I have a link. Click it. You can come on up. And the worst part of it is that he had, as you'll see, he say, these guys have a combined low IQ. I could take on all 5 of these guys at one time, which sounded kind of gay. And, you know, there he was in the chat, and we're telling him, click the link and come on up, and he won't. So I think he's just maybe a younger version of Sean Hawkins. I don't know, without the cussing. We'll check that out here in a minute. Let me see who all I got here. I got Greg, of course. Greg Braden's got it. He's going to be here. We know that. He's one of our guys. He's in the tinfoil hat brigade. We got Post Anything showed up here on Indoctrinated. Saab is from a time where the like button was a rotary. Oh, what's up with you guys? And you guys always wanted to pick on me about this shit here now, you know? Now, where did I see? I got to get Dose of Reality's thing up here too, because I just saw it. Oh, yeah, I got it on my Facebook. Right. Okay. So we got to be ready for that one. But then we're going to go over a little bit of this guy. And here's another thing, okay, with these jokes. You guys know this, I'm sure, of course, you all hear, well, we don't feel any motion because of the relative size of the earth. And, you know, if you were in an automobile and you're traveling 60 miles an hour, you don't really feel that you're moving, or in an aircraft or anything. You guys know about motion sickness? Have you ever heard of people getting air sickness, motion sickness in a car? Just talked to somebody who said that they know somebody who gets, it might have been Greg, if I'm not mistaken, said that they know somebody that they get motion sickness if they read a book in a car. Now, why don't they get sick when they're reading a book sitting in a chair? Okay, if there's no noticement of any of this motion, then why is there such thing as motion sickness? You know, sure, you could say seasickness would be because of the waves and whatnot, but there again, we're still talking about motion. You should be get used to it, right? So they're full of shit on a lot of that. Brian says he gets yeah, okay, he gets motion sickness looking at it, but if you're sitting in a chair, obviously, and you're looking at your phone or reading a book, you don't get sick, right? And there's, again, motion that you're supposedly not feeling, but is there. See, they're so full of shit with just about everything that they come up with. But yeah, we were talking about that, and that's just a big deal. But anyway, this is Aiden Mattis. And I guess he's got another channel called the Lore Lodge, whatever. But anyways, I had never heard of this guy until he decided to do this, and Flatzoid was covering it. But anyway, let me go ahead and I'll bring this up. And we'll share the screen and see what he's got going. This is his little cover, his thing. Oh, let's see. Do we got sound? We should. Come on.
was like, okay, well, I've got
Yeah.
my content for Thursday. But they never learn. I mean, go watch it. You can tell that they just watched this video and didn't think for a single moment, maybe I should go look at the Lore Lodge's other stuff. Maybe I should go see if this is a good person for me to challenge, you know? And I'm not saying this to be arrogant.
Yeah, you are saying it to be arrogant, because when you were offered the chance multiple times and right there in the chat to come up and make good on your boast, you never took it. So at the very least, you showed us, if we didn't know what kind of a person you are, we know that you lack integrity. Absolutely, 100%. Let me see. I got this up as loud as it'll go, man.
Am very confident that the flat Earth movement is ridiculous, and that the Earth is a oblate spheroid, and that everything about this is nonsense.
So it's an oblate spheroid, obviously an oblate spheroid. How is this obvious? How is this obvious? I don't understand.
But like, my point in saying, you know, they never learn is like, go watch the other videos where I've debunked conspiracies. Whether it's Bohemian Grove, whether we've talked about the Illuminati, whether we've talked about Tartaria, because if they did, they would notice one specific thing. I am never, ever talking out my ass. And yet...
So when you say you would take on all of us anytime and then are presented with the opportunity to do so and you don't, that would be considered talking out your ass, my friend. Okay?
Once again, despite the fact they knew there was a part 2 coming, because I said there was a part 2 coming, we have this. And I'm grateful. I'm very grateful, because as I went through part 2, it gave me all of the equipment I need to take on this kind of thing. And to be honest, you know, there were things where, like, as I was shooting during the video, I had to go back and recheck my math. I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe I was wrong about that. And I kept coming up with some very interesting things. For example, did you know that even at 20 miles above the atmosphere, if you are looking at the Earth, if the Earth is in the middle of your field of view, you have a horizon point right here. At 20 miles, you will have only 2 to 3 degrees of visible curvature on either side.
That's inconsistent with your 8 inches per mile squared. It's inconsistent with everything. It's inconsistent with the globe model. That's not possible. Yet they'll say, oh, we see shit go over the curve of the horizon. Shut up.
2 to 3 degrees. And here's the thing. It's not like I sat there and I went through the theoretical mathematics. I built a simple scale model in Canva.
Wait, what kind of mathematics? What kind of mathematics? The theoretical mathematics. So mathematics built on your belief system. Okay, got it. Oh, and incidentally, they're Aiden, which I don't know who names their kid Aiden. I'm sorry if you named your child Aiden or if your name is Aiden, but I'm sorry, man. Just don't understand it. Anyway, if you're watching this, Aiden, I'd love for you to go ahead and come up, because I think you've severely overestimated yourself and completely underestimated me. Okay. I've never even heard of your punk ass before, but I'll tell you what, if you see this, and I did purposely tag you so that you would be seen, so that you would see it. I want you to click the link. I want you to get a hold of me. Come on here. Show me what you got, brother. We'll do like my man Mojo says. We'll make a little checklist, right? We'll make 2 columns, facts and beliefs. And we'll see how much of the shit that you put out is actually fact or beliefs. And I guarantee you it's beliefs. You already started out with theoretical mathematics. Okay.
And I just created a circle that was the diameter and circumference of the Earth at a 1 pixel to 1 mile scale. And then I used a line that was a 1 pixel to 1 mile scale. And guess what? You can find out pretty much anything you need to from that. It's not going to be perfect. because again, there's only so much you can do. But yeah, I just part of the problem is I had to get bigger.
Here you go, Brainiac. Have you ever heard of AutoCAD? You know, my man Greg in here, Greg Brayton, he deals with AutoCAD, and you can actually make it the actual size. You can actually make a scale. Go ahead. You can make it to scale and zoom it out to where you can see it and manipulate it. Everything you need to do. Everything you need to do. You don't go on Microsoft Paint to prove a globe, dude. Come on.
Bigger and bigger scale models. I ran out of space in Canva. I'd need a much bigger plane. I tried doing it in Paint.net. The problem was that Paint.net couldn't handle it either, because it turns out the biggest circle I had to make was something like 79 million pixels wide, and it just couldn't do it. It could not render it without lag. But yeah, anyway, this is, whoo boy, this is gonna be a fun one for me. I'm very excited. I will say this much. I'm not sure that there is another YouTube video out there that went as far as we did in debunking this. You know, it's I'm pretty confident. I looked around. I am very excited for
you're really pumping this up for a lot less than what it really is there, Aiden. You really are. A lot of flash with no pan. You know what I'm saying?
Friday for tomorrow. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. I mean, whoo boy. So let's just really quickly it was like I think it was like 100 pixels per inch or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Again, this was like rudimentary. My point was to show on a scale model, because
what a wonderful way to scale something too. You know, not millimeters per mile or millimeters per 100 miles or anything like that. Nothing tangible that you can actually deal with. Just how many ever pixels. You count out how many pixels they are. That's on what size resolution screen. I mean, what are you doing?
We talked through the math, but I'm not good at math, so I decided to build a model to check myself, and it worked. But I do want to quickly go through and check out some of these super chats. Ryan Whitcup said, just got back from MEPS, 94 on the ASVAB. You go, my guy. Have to get a waiver for a diagnosis. Wow, this is very similar to how mine went. Well, good luck. I wish you the best.
And I'd be telling that kid, don't talk to the recruiter anymore. Okay? Yeah, you got a great score on your ASVAB. Run away from that motherfucker as hard as you can. Trust me. Don't do it. This guy, oh yeah, join up into the system. Be a fucking retard like me.
There are a few things that you can do that are more selfless than military service, or that we'd even worse get a community guidelines violation.
Just go with
Christians don't believe the earth is flat. The Bible doesn't.
Yeah, let me get him. So here he goes. Okay, here we go.
I will die on that hill. So here we go.
Throw a pitch, just take it and move
That's
on.
loud.
I don't know about y'all, but I like Flatzoid's little intro, man. You got Mod Queen Bee right here, Vicky, and he's got all the cast of characters. I'm not in the characters or anything, but this is great. And the part where Sean Hawkins comes out jumping around like a monkey fucking cracks me up so bad, man.
Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Vicky, good to see you.
Oh, this is off to a roaring start.
Do you have injection?
Okay, that's the fine. Do this still good.
Hey, man.
I could never have expected it was going to be this good.
Michael Corn, what's up, Canadian? How you guys doing? And we are live, I think.
This is going to be so fun. I'm so excited for this.
Yo, Fluffs, what's up? It's good to see you.
Why? Excited over it for what? I think it's funny. It's that Johnny Bravo character. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It was a cartoon, and they put Flatzoid's face on it because he's got another one where he does fitness videos and shit too. So this is, I don't know. I thought it was creative as all hell.
Tonight's going to be a very triggersome stream for some people. I've already been having some triggered numpties like Sean Hawkins coming in.
You know, Flatzoid, both you and Dave are just.
Get out of my car!
You are too much of a coward.
Do you guys remember YouTube in 2006? I know some of you were born in 2006, but like, for those of you who were born pre-2000, do you remember 2006 YouTube? Because I feel like I'm watching ASDF.
So this guy's like a kid. He thinks 2006 was a long time ago or something. So this guy's obviously one of these Generation Z or whatever they call him. I call him Generation Retard myself. I'm sorry. That's there's some real dumb people in that group, I gotta tell you. And of course, the further we go along and the more little jabs we give kids, the dumber they get, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I can't believe I see little kids are 4 or 5 years old walking around saying goo goo and gaga and shit, and don't know. I mean, what the fuck, man? When I was that age, man, I was talking like I am right now. I mean, I don't understand what the problem is.
F movie right now. Like this is OG YouTube right here, but he's serious.
And right,
You want the video to be louder? Okay. All right.
be the Fallacy King.
Craig.
Newgrounds, perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking of, and I could not remember the name of the website.
You stupid woman.
That's gonna be an interesting one tonight. Yo, Fluffs, what's up? Good to see you all.
Oh my god, it starts off perfectly. We get through this fever dream animation, and what do we have? What do we have? Dude is ripping a bong.
Yes, I am. And I rip a bong all the time. Okay. And this is what's going to be so pathetic for you, my friend, is that when and if we do finally speak one-on-one, unless you just got to hide behind little snipe videos like this, you're going to find out a little different, as have many. I would suggest to you, young man with barely an ability to grow facial hair, once your balls drop down a little bit one day, I would suggest you read The Art of War and what it says about underestimating your opponent. Because I guarantee you want to talk one-on-one with me, or as you are about to say, take us all on. Bring it, bro. Bring it. And I will show you how you are so wrong on many levels, on every level. Just go ahead. Go ahead. Bring it. But you won't. You know why? Because you're a coward. You're as bad as Sean Hawkins. You're as bad as the rest of these fools. At least Craig and Mike Toon, they at least got the balls, or at least just the stupidity, to go and face both myself and Flatzoid this next Saturday. You won't. You were in the chat. We said, click the link. Let's hear you. Dazzle us with your brilliance. You wouldn't do it. You ran away like a little bitch.
My man is getting zooted to start the stream. And his sovereign soul, unchained mind, this man has definitely had his brain broken by acid. Oh my god. This is incredible. I love the mix.
Now, I want you to keep in mind that this fool has not heard one thing said. Nothing. Right off the bat, he's immediately jumped to all of these conclusions. Right? This guy would be so easy to destroy 5 minutes? What do you guys say? 5 minutes with this fool? 10 minutes? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. 10 minutes. I don't think he'd last. He can't. I'd walk him right into his own fucking defeat.
Here, we've got this guy up here who clearly perceives of himself as having some divine wisdom. This guy right here who can't even tell that the picture in his background, in fact, is curved by what appears to be 1 to 2 degrees between this side to that side. And also, which it looks like it's an animation, like a graphic. How the hell did you manage to make a flat Earth graphic that has a round Earth on it? And then this guy.
What? How did I make a flat Earth graphic that has a curve on it? There's no curve. In fact, Flatzoid did a thing and put that very picture right there and put a green line, straight line. There's no curve there. Are you talking about that bulge of light where the source of light, i.e. the sun, is at? By the way, you might want to notice that it got smaller as the high altitude balloon was in the nighttime. Yes, it was in the nighttime. And there it was day over there, not on the other side of a ball or anything else like that. But this idiot right here, he's gonna make assumptions. This guy right here hasn't got a fucking clue. I would love to talk to this guy. Yeah, I think TikTok for all of this. No shit. No shit. TikTok's bad. Yeah, it is.
Who's just clearly like in his basement studio grungy ass apartment wearing a New York City shirt. Like, how are you going to pretend to be outside of the Matrix and then you're sitting here wearing a shirt with the name of the capital city of the Matrix on it? And no, I'm not an Andrew Tate person.
What? So he's judged me already. He figures PJ thinks that he's a saint or something, which if you've ever heard PJ talk, he's never made any such claim whatsoever. And then you got Flatzoid in his home in South Africa wearing a shirt that, what the fuck, who cares what your shirt is? Pay attention to the one I'm wearing. Mine says, Buddha says, let that shit go.
Don't go there.
Yo, Fluffs, what's up? Good to see you all. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. We have Dave and PJ Cruikshank on the Elements, and Restream. How you guys doing?
I'm not sure. I know Flatoid's perspective left some comments. I don't know if he was in chat.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Fantastic, man.
That's good. It's good, yeah?
That intro always
What is this accent? Dutch, maybe?
makes me smile now.
Yeah.
He's brilliant, man. I mean, I don't know how he does it.
I'm not even sure what our friend PJ here is saying.
So he needs a translator. Luckily for him, I could translate for him because I grew up watching Monty Python. Okay. PJ is Scottish. Okay. He has a Scottish accent. Wow. What's the problem?
It's good to see everybody here. I'm just going to say hi to everyone in the YouTube land quickly. Jeff, Conkel, thank you for coming, man. Toshiro, what's up, man? Glad to have you in. PJ, Miss Mod, Queen Bee, Vicky, it's always good to see you. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you very much. Angela, baby, what's up? Good to see you, Angela. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. Brian from Ryan State.
I remember when our show was small enough that I could call out the names of our viewers.
But look how big my channel is now. I don't bother giving a shout out to anybody as they join the chat or anything like that because I'm so much fucking better than you. This kid's a retard. He's going to fall hard too. Got Kevin Barber showed up too. Good to see you. Kirsten Springer. Who else I got? Chicago artist showing up here. Hercules. Let's go home. Yeah, you're talking about Flash's shirt. Let's see. So who else I got in here that showed Mr. Super Sidewinder? I got a few other people. Maurice List. Voy. Let's see. I reckon the True Few. Day Trooper. Because he's a day trooper. One-way ticket. Yeah. Angela Baby Carson. Ethan 406 is here. Try again. Man, I got all these people in here, man. But, you know, what are you listening to me for? I'm zooted out of my mind, according to this guy. Baked by LSD.
I'm only being a dick about that because several people in the Flat Earth community have tried to make it seem like I have no platform, and they do. Meanwhile,
Good to have you in, man. Always good.
Like, I need you guys to know that I have very much been like I have become very sick of flat earthers. The arrogance.
You know, and it comes to me too. I bet you're sick of it because you can't fucking refute it. That's why. You only have the same old bullshit arguments from 2016 that's already been destroyed. Okay? So give it up. We're sick of you too.
It's the narcissism, the refusal to accept anything that deflects from their paradigm. It doesn't matter what.
Refuse to accept anything that deflects from their paradigm. Yeah, we're not about deflection. We're about facts. We're about facts, fool.
It is. But yeah, I mean, it's, oh, he's here. Yeah, I am reviewing this. Listen, man, I've already got Witsit coming on. The chances are I'm not going to be bringing a bunch of flat earthers on. But since you had the integrity to pop in and say something, I will step back a bit. I will be more polite. I will be less rude. You had the integrity to come in and say something. I respect that. So I will keep the rest of this stream as academic as I possibly can for that reason. So I apologize for coming at it and being rude. But you know, I've been going at it with your people all week, and I am really.
Well, this is what gets me. Why do you got to go at it? Why do you find this to be an attack? Because you're a demonically possessed little shitworm. That's why.
Really at the end of my rope. So I will try to be nice. And I was close with saying.
I'll tell you what, Aiden, you go ahead and come up on my panel. You ain't got to be nice. But be forewarned. You're going to get what you give. And you won't like it. You won't like it, but you won't. You know why? Because you're a little weeping vagina. You know that I will destroy you in 5 minutes.
Dutch, because Afrikaans.
See, and Spuddy Taylor in the house too. Glad you can make it. Jeff Gassett also just popped in, and Don Logan. Woohoo! Good to have you guys in. Thank you all for coming in. One mind, one spirit. You guys rock. Please don't forget to hit the likes, share the show. Really does help to get the show out.
By the way, just in case you guys didn't know, and I'm sure, you know, I would not be surprised.
What my views on that, LJ, is that I think what they say our population is bullshit. I think they've made it harder for people to have more children because people are not, they're more dependent on a system than they are on themselves like they used to be. That's what I think. It used to be a benefit to a family to have a lot of children because there were a lot more people that were helping out around the homestead, you know, farms and things like that. You know, I think my great grandmother, she would have, if she was widowed at pretty young, had 9 kids. But if it weren't for those 9 kids and her putting together, I mean, they would have lost their farm, and they didn't. So, yeah. I think that it's a lot of bullshit. It's more of this fear. Oh, there's not going to be much food. There's not going to be enough this. There's not going to be enough that. Artificial scarcity, you know? So there's no way it's 8 billion people. And how in the fuck would they know that in the first place? You know, they go, not everybody does a census. I didn't. I won't do one. Ain't none of their goddamn business who I am or any other thing. I ain't doing it. Every time they sent a census guy to the house. Because every time I got something from the census, I threw it in the garbage. They sent a guy to the house, and I said, I'm not doing your thing. I'm not in your club. Stop. Well, don't you care about whether you get funds or not? No, I don't. It's stolen goods. He looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, where does that money come from? From the government. I said, bullshit. The government doesn't have any intrinsic wealth. Where does that money come from? Well, through taxes. I said, exactly. So they have to steal it from other people to give it to somebody else. That's bullshit.
If he uses that little diatribe of me just being a dick, whatever. I don't care. I really don't care if the flat Earth community thinks I'm an asshole. I just don't. But I actually lost my train of thought. We'll see where this goes.
Wide audience.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Witsit Gets It is I put a tweet up and I was like, who do you guys want? Who would be your guy? The one you think cannot lose to me. And they said,
I won't lose to you. You don't have to go and shoot your sights as high as Witsit. Not at all. I'll take you on, no problem. No problem. But if you think you're going to win against Witsit, you have you wanting to call other people narcissists? Hell, you didn't even have the courage to click the link and come up on Flatzoid. What the hell are you even talking about, bro?
Said Austin Witsit. So I'm bringing him on May 19th. Going to be a debate. I will be nice. I will use my nice voice. It'll be like when we had Zertis on, and like when we had Ashton Forbes on. People that I disagreed with, but I was cordial to nonetheless. Yeah. So they're gonna. Austin Witsit's gonna come on. His people are very confident. We'll see how it goes.
So we are going to be.
How's it going to go? It's going to go not well for you. That's how it's going to go. I'll guarantee it. And it wouldn't surprise me if this little wormy bastard doesn't try to weasel out. And yeah, I said wormy little bastard because he is. He's another one of these little wormy pieces of shit. I have no respect for any of them.
Be carrying on that video from that Scottish rock.
Flatzoids. Also, I mean, I will say, you don't have to be stuck here. You don't have to let this define you. You don't have to stay so deep into this world. You can get out and you can talk about it. And
you mean you can get out of reality? Once you've discovered reality, you want to come out of reality? What's wrong with you, Aiden, you wormy little shit?
Honestly, you'll probably have a bigger platform if you pull yourself out of the cult. If you pull yourself out of this and you look at it objectively and you say, I was wrong, here's why, here's how I got wrapped up into it, you will probably have a bigger platform. You'll be taken more seriously. And if you pivot and you start looking at other conspiracy theories, you might actually do some good work. That's what happened to us. We started out on the missing 411 thing. We were certain, I was at least, that there was something out there responsible for the missing 411 phenomenon. And now it's down to like maybe 10 cases that I'm like, yeah, that's actually really strange. Maybe they were taken by someone or something. But we were able to completely shift from being a channel that was all about one conspiracy to a channel that covered all sorts of things from...
What's conspiracy? What conspiracy? And I think we cover a wide range of topics along those lines here. It just seems that this one triggers the shit out of you wormy little pukes. You wormy little pukes can't handle this subject because you get all caught up in your fifis. See? It's because you're basically children.
Unsolved disappearances in cities all the way out to things like Flat Earth. Successfully. It's there. The path is there. You don't have to feel trapped. You're not. The internet is forever, but guess what? So is the forgiveness of the internet. There are people who will never there are people who will never get over it, but the vast majority of people will sit down and go, all right, you know what? Cool. He came around just like I did when you popped into chat and showed integrity. You can do it. I believe that you guys have the ability to pull yourselves out of this.
Pull ourselves. Hold on. Wait a second. Pull ourselves out of what? So we can be a wormy little retard like you, Aiden? Really? What, are you another one of those got caught with some shit on your system there? Huh? You another one that's been bribed into this? I wonder.
I feel like at a certain point, only ridicule is enough to drive people out of it. At a certain point, you just have to be mean to get people to finally question it. Because I've seen it. Approaching the flat earth phenomenon with facts and reason doesn't do it. It doesn't work.
Because you don't have any facts or reason. Your entire fucking idea goes against the most basic, fundamental physical principles known. Right from Jump Street, your stupid idea dies, and you're too retarded to realize it. Holy cow.
They don't pull themselves out. So, yeah, anyway, on we go.
Reich Mason Christian guy.
Oh,
On that video from that Scottish Reich Mason Christian guy.
Wait.
Really, really does help to get the show out to a wider audience. So, we are going to be carrying on that video from that Scottish Reich Mason Christian guy.
So first of all, not Scottish Rite. Not a Scottish Rite Mason. York Rite Mason, that's the Christian side. I've yet to do a single Scottish Rite degree, and when I do them, it's more going to be for like curiosity purposes. I've read a lot of the Scottish Rite material at this point. I don't love it. I think that there's some good moral lessons in there, but I think that it gets a little bit too close to Gnostic theology, which I don't love. But that's the beauty of Freemasonry. The only things that are universal to Freemasonry are those first 3 degrees, and after that, everything's different.
Oh, aye.
It's different, all right. It's different, all right.
What's up, Settlebum and TV? What's up?
Trust the Masonic lodges and all that to start up in Scotland. I mean, nothing to be proud of.
What?
But before we start, though, news on what's it, Mayhem, that guy that bishop that got stabbed.
Oh yeah, did you guys hear about that? I don't know, like I'm glad he brought that up actually. Like kudos to him because a bishop, I think it was in Australia, was stabbed during a prayer service, and it appears to have been religiously motivated. They're thinking it's an Islamic terror attack.
What? How do you spell his name? Mia. He is in critical condition at the
It's Bishop Mari or something like that.
moment.
I believe he's an Orthodox bishop.
Mario
Emmanuel.
Marmiari Emmanuel.
Yeah, McPherson. Masonic lodges were probably not started in Scotland. I was actually able to trace it back further than 1599 recently. It goes all the way back at least to 1425 to 1390. Sometime in that period seems to be the first Freemason document, and it is actually directly cut out of operative masonry, actual Masonic guilds. So it's a it's called the Hallowell manuscript or the Regius poem. But basically what it contains is a Middle English poem, which talks about how to treat your apprentice masons and how to treat other fellow craft masons and master masons. It is all about the actual operative craft of masonry, of building things out of stone. But it also includes moral guidelines. It talks about the things that you should and should not do, how to treat people, that you should go to church weekly. So it's a mixed document that is both operative masonry, how to treat guild members, and then also how to be a morally upright person and how that should be representative of the Masons Guild. And it's believed that this is the earliest Masonic document to survive to the modern era. Now, we may have earlier ones laying around somewhere. This one was, I think, discovered in the 1800s in somebody's private collection, and they didn't even know what it was. And that document claims that Masonry got to the UK, to England, under King Ethelstan, I think in 926 AD. So that this one claims that Freemasonry, as we know it, was founded in York in 926 AD. Traditionally, it's held that Freemasonry was brought to Europe by the Templars, which would mean that it can't be that early.
Oh my God, who gives a fuck?
But I do imagine that, based on the scriptures, there is a place between heaven and hell that we go when we die. And that the being cast into the fires of eternity, all of that I believe happens after the final judgment that is in the book of Revelation. My estimation, based on what's in the scriptures, is that one of two things happens when you die. Either you go to something akin to the Catholic concept of purgatory, where you atone for your sins for a period of time, or Azure.
Okay.
And I'm seeing a lot of people also on the internet trying to defend it and say, "Oh no, it's not Islamic. You guys are not understanding."
Something along the lines of Shale, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay. That's why someone jumps up with a knife and starts.
So anyway, I just wanted to introduce y'all to this guy. He's got some boastful shit that he had to say. It was kind of hateful on it. And I'll tell you what, Aiden, if you're out there, I'd like for you to come up here. I would love for you to join up onto my show one night. Come on up here one night. I want to see what you got. I want to see if we can, let's take your logic and your science and we'll take it right to science. Yeah, you can. Dose of reality, you can. You can do anything you want to. You can be like a double agent for the Mossad. So long as you serve evil, Brian. That's as long. You have to, do you find Baphomet sexy? If you do, you might be ready to get in there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this guy Aiden and his what's his other thing? The Lore Lodge. He's got another one called the Lore Lodge. He's quite a prick. And he shot his mouth off, said that he could in which it really sounded kind of gay. He said, I could take on all 5 of these guys, you know, and I was like, okay, you know. The only person I know that said they could handle 5 guys was Brian Stavely, but I think he was talking about the burgers place, but I don't know. You know, it's just you know, you'll have to figure that out. He's on his way. He's on his way to fame and stardom. I'm going to show you this. This is pretty good. Let me see what happened to him here. Oh no, where'd it go? Well, oh, I remember. I had to get it here. Let's see. There it is. This is our good friend, Dose of Reality, Brian Stavely at Flat Stock. Jamming it up for the folks. Are you guys ready for this? All right.
Now, here's a little story I got to tell about 3 frat brothers you know so well. It started way back in history with that rock MPA and me, Mike D. I had a little horse named Paul Revere, just me and my horsey and a quart of beer. Riding across the land, kicking up sand. Sheriff's posse's on my tail cause I'm in demand. One lonely beastie I be, all by myself without nobody. The sun is beating down on my baseball hat. The air is getting hot, the beer is getting flat. Looking for a girl, I ran into a guy. His name is MC8. I said howdy, he said hi. He told a little story that sounded well rehearsed. 4 days on the run and that he's dying of thirst. The brew was in my hand and he was on my tip. His voice was hoarse, his throat was dry. He asked me for a sip. He said, can I get some? I said, you can't get none. Had a chance to run. He pulled out his shotgun. Quick on the draw. I thought I'd be dead. He put the gun to my head and this is what he said. Now, my name is MC8. I got a license to kill. I think you know what time it is. It's time to get ill. Now, what do we have here? An Allah and his beer. I run this land, you understand. I made myself clear. He stepped into the wind. He had a gun. I had a grin. You think the story's over, but it's ready to begin. Yeah. Now I got the gun, you got the brew. You got 2 choices of what you can do. It's not a tough decision as you can see. I can blow you away or you can ride with me. I said I'll ride with you if you can get me to the border. The sheriff's after me for what I did to his daughter. I did it like this, I did it like that. I did it with the wiffle ball bat. So I'm on the run, the cops got my gun. And right about now it's time to have some fun. The king at rock, that is my name. And I know the fly spot where they got the champagne. We rode for 6 hours, then we hit the spot. The beat was a bumpin' and the girlies was hot. The dude was staring like he knows who we are. We took the empty spot next to him at the bar. MCA said, yo, you know this kid? I said, I didn't, but I know he did. The kid said, get ready, cause this ain't funny. My name is Mike D and I'm about to get money. Pulled out the Jimmy, aimed it at the sky. He yelled, pick him up and let 2 fly. Hands went up and people hit the floor. He wasted 2 kids that ran for the door. I'm Mike D and I get respect. Your cash and your jewelry is what I expect. MC8 was with it, and he's my ace. So I grabbed the piano player and I punched him in the face. Piano player's out, the music stopped. His boy had beat, and he got dropped. My D grabbed the money, MC8 snatched the gold. I grabbed 2 girlies and a beer that's cold.
Oh my word. Brian. Knocking it out of the fucking park in there tonight. So they've had some shit going on there at Flat Stock. Let me see. Brian lost his one channel on it. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did, Brian. What was it? Come on up, Brian, and tell us what happened, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? Click that link and come on up and tell me what happened. What'd you do to piss off our overlords at YouTube? Now, what happened? That was supposed to be on Modern Day Debate that FTFE didn't show. Is that where that was at? I was wanting to know where that went to. No, that's for the 26th. Let me see what they got on their channel. Yeah, I went looking for it earlier. I didn't see it. So what did he puss out about? Let's see. Go to the lives. Well, they got shit scheduled way out into the future, don't they? Yeah, no, man. And nothing there. Nothing happened, man. So what happened? He said he had to alternate his lives to his backups. What? Crazy. So what do we say? We got Timmy Bob in the audience out here tonight. We saw Timmy Bob in here. Oh, Lord, help us, right? Oh, Lord, help us. So I found this today, too. This is kind of interesting. I think I'll share this with you. And I just want to run this by you and tell me if y'all think this sounds as silly as I do. And this is from space.com. It says a Japanese satellite will beam solar power to Earth in 2025. Don't we already get solar power without having to use the satellites? Right? What are they going to do? Run a big cable? This is kind of weird. I don't know what they're proposing. Japan's upcoming space-based solar power demonstration will beam power to Earth next year. Isn't the sun already beaming power to Earth? What in the hell? I don't get it. So Japan is on track to beam solar power from space to Earth next year, 2 years after a similar feat was achieved by U.S. engineers. I did not hear about this. The development marks an important step toward possible space-based solar power station that could help wean the world off fossil fuels, which we all know here because we're smart, is a stupid name. It's not from fossils. It's not. How many quarts of oil are in a fucking dinosaur anyway? You know? Yeah, give me you're down a brontosaurus or two. You know, come on, man. Let's see. The intensifying battle against climate change. They hyperlink that too, so you can look at something about climate change. Speaking at the International Conference on Energy from Space held here this week, Koichi Ejichi. Yeah, that name's got a rhythm to it. I like it. Koichi Ejichi, an advisor at the Japanese research. I figured that out pretty damn good. You guys got to give me some credit. That was thanks to my good friend Something Wong back here. So Koichi Ejichi, an advisor of the Japanese Research Institute Japan Space Systems, outlined Japan's roadmap toward an orbital demonstration of a miniature space-based solar power plant that will wirelessly transmit energy from low Earth orbit to Earth. It will be a small satellite, about 180 kilograms, 400 pounds. How many sheep is that? We got 88. There's the number of time and space. That's pretty cool. We got Bogan Alsier showed up as well. And Jono Edwards and Jeff Hunt and Try Again. Yeah, fossil implies scarcity. That's why it was done. You're absolutely right. Kristen Springer joined us as well. Call 40. What's happening, Dave? Jeff Hunt. Twilight Nights. He's like the first dude. Twilight Nights is the first one in the chat, like every night, every time, right? Pretty crazy. We really appreciate it though. Let's see. So it'll be a small satellite. It'll transmit about 1 kilowatt of power from the altitude of 400 kilometers. 250 miles. Right up here with us. Ijichi said at the conference, 1 kilowatt is about the amount of power needed to run a household appliance, such as a small dishwasher, for about an hour, depending on its size. Well, that's a hell of a trade-off right there, the expense of a satellite, so that you can power a dishwasher from space, when it'd be just easier to just have power here, I think. Anyway, therefore, the demonstration is nowhere near the scale required for commercial use. Well, I would say the spacecraft would use a 22 square foot, 2 square meters, onboard photovoltaic panel to charge a battery. Okay, just like they have it on here. The accumulated energy will then be transformed into microwaves and beamed toward a receiving antenna on Earth. Okay, because the spacecraft travels very fast, around 17,400 miles per hour. That's 28,000 in gay. And antenna elements will have to be spread over a distance of about 25 miles. That's 40 kilometers in gay. Spaced 3 miles apart to allow enough energy to be transmitted. The transmission will take only a few minutes, but once the battery is empty, it will take several days to recharge. Well, this doesn't sound like it's such a great thing. It's got a lot of problems that could be much more easily remedied right here on the good old terra firma that we know as the flat and stationary level plane Earth. All right. So let's see. The mission part of the project, called Ohisama, which means it's Japanese for sun. See, you guys didn't know I spoke Japanese, did you? Now you all learned a little bit of Japanese right there. See, it's like, now go forth and learn more Japanese, because that right there was your Rosetta Stone right there. So you know that Ohisama means sun. It's on track for launch in 2025. It's always just a couple of years away or a year away. They'll kick the can down the road on this one too. The researchers have already demonstrated wireless transmission of solar power on the ground from a stationary source, and they plan to conduct a transmission from an aircraft in December. Okay, well, if you've already got it on an aircraft, then why do you need to have it on a satellite? Okay. The aircraft will be fitted with an identical photovoltaic panels, as will be flown on the spacecraft, and will beam down power over a distance of 3 to 4 miles, according to Ijichi. Okay, well, 3 to 4 miles, it still leaves you with, about 246 miles. Anyway, from concept to reality, space-based solar power generation, first described in 1968 by a former Apollo engineer, Peter Glasser, has been considered science fiction. Although theoretically feasible, the technology has been seen as impractical and too costly, as it requires enormous structures to be assembled in orbit to produce the required power output. I would have to agree. But according to the experts speaking at the conference, which I'm pretty sure involves this Ijichi character, that situation has changed as a result of recent technological advancements and the urgency to decarbonize the world's power supply to thwart climate change. Greta's pissed, y'all. How dare you? How dare you? You should say that to your mom. She looked like she was drinking boxes of wine while she was pregnant with you, man. Definitely. I would look in. You might be able to get a check for that. You might be able to get a check for mom being a drunk or something, you know? I'm just saying, it's out there for you. Take it. But according to the experts, let's see, unlike most renewable power generation technologies used on Earth, including solar power and wind energy, which are really piss poor, Space-based solar power could be available constantly, as it would not depend on weather and the time of day. Currently, nuclear power plants or gas and coal-fired power stations are used to cover demand while the wind stops blowing or after sunset. But isn't that the whole thing about using nuclear energy, is that you're just boiling water using the nuclear material? That's all that's really going on. So if you keep boiling the water, you keep making the steam, you keep turning the turbines, why are you lumping it in there with a coal-based furnace thing? Improvements in technology could help partially solve the problem in the future. Partially, a little bit, little to none, really. But some pieces of the puzzle are still missing to secure a seamless carbon neutral power supply by the middle of this century, as stipulated in international climate change agreements. See, there's where you got to watch out. Now they got the lawyers involved. Okay. Now it's all fucked up. Developments in robotic technologies, improvements in the efficiency of wireless power transmission, and most importantly, the arrival of SpaceX giant rocket Starship could allow space-based solar power to become a reality, the experts said at a conference. The experts, they're just known as the experts. Nobody knows their names, just this Ajitsi guy. The rest of them, they couldn't pronounce their names. Maybe they should have had my friend Something Wong with them, and he could have given them a, translation. Many more space-based solar power demonstration projects are in the pipeline. I'm sure there are. There's a lot of money to launder. The technology is studied by space and research agencies all over the world, including the ESA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, also known as DARPA, and the United States Air Force. Commercial companies and startups are also developing concepts harnessing the availability of Starship and the emergence of advanced space robotics. This is really sold to the dreamers, I can tell you. However, not everyone is enthusiastic about the potential of the space-based solar panel. You think? Maybe a few people with a couple brain cells in their heads? In January, NASA released a report questioning the feasibility of the project. Here we can actually look at it too if we needed to. That's a big web address. It's at nasa.gov. The difficulty and the amount of energy required to build, launch, and assemble orbital power stations mean the energy they produce would be too expensive, 61 cents per kilowatt hour, compared with as little as 5 cents per kilowatt hour for Earth-based solar or wind energy. Yeah, I would say that's, having it go up 12 times. I don't think that's a good idea. That's, of course, that's what they're after. They can lie to you and tell you it's coming from space, and that's why it's so expensive. In addition to overall carbon footprint of the power production and the amount of greenhouse gas emissions generated by rockets taking those assemblies into orbit, makes space-based solar power much less climate friendly than technologies used on Earth. For example, a gigawatt scale spaceborne solar power station such as the Cassiopeia concept plant proposed by the UK firm Space Solar would need to be 68 starships to get to space. Wow. 68, but they're shooting them up like every day now, aren't they? Aren't they just like shooting up rockets every other fucking day now? The Starlink and all this other nonsense that they're really pushing this thing hard. The closer and closer the tipping point gets, the harder and harder they're pushing this nonsense. I've noticed that. There was not very much interest in any of this fucking space bullshit, and they weren't pushing it as hard as they really are now. They really are pushing it hard now. Well, what's that? You guys can see my turnovers. But yeah, that's pitiful. That's absolutely pitiful. Anyway, space.com. It's an interesting little website. I get alerts from this thing. Let me see. What is this? A April 21st, 1997. First space funeral launches on Founder's Flight. What? Let's see what that is real quick. Oh, I remember this. You guys remember this? On this day in space, April 21st, 1997, the first space funeral launches on Founder's Flight. The cremated remains of 24 people were launched into space in this first ever space funeral. I bet that was just something else, right? So what did they do? They just spilled them all out in the pool. The other notable cremated people on board included the physicist and space exploration activist Gerard O'Neill. Never heard of him. The German rocket scientist Kraft Ehricke and Timothy Leary. Okay, now I know who Timothy Leary is. A psychologist who became famous for his research on psychedelic drugs. On April 21st, 1997, the cremated remains of 24 people were launched into space in the first ever space funeral. One of those people was Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek. How about that? So how do they know he didn't come back down in a meteor, like in somebody says, oh, look, a shooting star, make a wish, right? That was Gene Roddenberry. Or it comes through and survives and causes a nuclear impact, and they call it the Gene Roddenberry crater or some shit like that. This picture right here is, I guess, the air launched Pegasus rocket. Okay, so they launched it from an airplane, I guess, carrying the Founder's Flight for Celestis Memorial Services. And this is them. They could just put any stock thing and say, this is what this is. The company's first mission was named the Founder's Flight, and it was an air launched on a Pegasus rocket. The capsule containing the remains orbited Earth for about 5 years before burning up in the atmosphere. These people's remains were sent to space via a company called Celestis, which charges thousands of dollars for these memorial space flights. Oh my God. Oh my God. And people are believing that they're having their remains put up into space. Wow. You guys want to buy some real estate on the moon? I got some for sale. I'm selling it. I swear to God. These people's, let's see, it only launches small samples of the cremated remains because launching all of it would be way too expensive. But it's not expensive to take gorilla suits and bagpipes and guitars and all the rest of that nonsense they always have up there with them. A couple crates of fucking football jerseys just in case whoever wins, they got the right jerseys, and enough for all the astronauts. I mean, you people keep me entertained. They really keep me entertained. Let's see. There was some more funny shit from this place too. Why is it hard to send humans back to the moon? Well, that's a good damn question. We've been wondering about this, right? Why is it so hard to send humans back to the moon? The Apollo program put humans on the moon in 1969. Sure, it did. Craig was going to prove that tonight, and he pushed out and didn't do it. I am so ashamed of him. So why haven't we seen any more since? And that's not a question for an 8-year-old. That's a question for me. Okay. And it's because we didn't. I heard that somewhere before. Did anybody else experience a little bit of deja vu with that? It seems like I remember hearing somebody say that exact thing. Look at that. Look at that hopeful picture. Look at that. That's what it's going to be like right there. That's an illustration of the NASA's Orion spacecraft in orbit around the moon. There it is. Now, see, they call it Orion, and I've always heard that, all that, but there's a place in Michigan, not far from where I lived, called Lake Orion, but it's pronounced Lake Orion. It's spelled exactly the same way. And there's the Orion assembly plant, which is down there. So that's kind of crazy. Anyway, between 19, I just wonder why the pronunciation, like people don't pronounce it correctly. Like that guy with the heliocentric Copernicus, right? And the philosopher Socrates. I mean, these people just butcher their names. I cannot believe it. Anyway, between 1969 and 1972, I can remember 1972, the Apollo mission sent a total of 12 astronauts to the surface of the moon. And that was before the explosion, no pun intended, of modern technology. So why does it seem like our current efforts as embodied by NASA's Artemis program are so slow, halting, and complex? There isn't one easy answer, but it comes down to money, politics, and priorities. This is the same excuse that they've been using, but we've always got money for war, and we've always got money to make sure everybody's got an Obama phone, and we've always got I mean, come on, man. Buy any of that bullshit? No. So let's start with the money. Yes, the Apollo missions were enormously successful and enormously expensive. Ding, 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 ding. At its peak, NASA was consuming around 5% of the entire federal budget. And more than half of that was devoted to the Apollo program. Accounting for inflation, the entire Apollo program would cost over $260 billion in today's dollars. Well, what's the problem? We gave Ukraine that. No problem. Paid them a bunch of money to lose. That was awesome. If you include Project Gemini and the robotics lunar program, which were necessary precursors to Apollo, that figure reaches over $280 billion. Drop in the bucket compared to what they spend. It really is. That right there is telling you that $280 billion is merely 5% of our overall budget. Ouch. Ouch. So it says, in comparison, today NASA commands less than 0.5% of the total federal budget, with a much broader range of priorities and directives. Like developing shit for DARPA and that kind of thing. Over the past decades, NASA has spent roughly $90 billion on the Artemis program. Naturally, with less money going to a new moon landing, we're likely to make slower progress, even with advancements in technology. Plus the fact that some bozo taped WrestleMania over the fucking data tapes or something. I mean, I don't know. They lost the technology, and it's a painful process to build it back. It's really bad. And plus, now they know about the Van Halen radiation belt. They know all about that. So it was different when they went through it and didn't know about it. But now they go through it. If they go through it and they know about it, it's going to be harmful. So closely tied to the financial realities are the political realities. In the 1960s, America was in the midst of the space race, a competition with the Soviet Union to achieve as many firsts in space, especially landing humans on the moon. And I want to tell you that entire thing was nothing more than an extension of the same competition that you're exposed to in your public education program, where your school is pitted against its rival. And you want to try, it's the same childish fucking bullshit. Every bit of it. The public was on board and energized by this idea, and were lawmakers who directed NASA expansive budget. But yet we are only told that the Soviets were trying to get to the moon. I don't really see any evidence of them actually trying or believing it being possible. What in the world are you in there talking about now? Dose of reality. You think I'm weird, right? All right. That kind of spinning, however, was deeply unsustainable, you think? As soon as America won, the public quickly lost interest and NASA funding tumbled. There simply isn't a political or public will to spend that amount of money for a second shot at the moon. But here's the thing. They got up there and what the fuck did they do? Did they do any pictures of stars? Did they do any photographs of Earth from space? Did they do any, what did they do? Thought there was a whole bunch of shit to discover on the moon. It doesn't matter. The public interest. It's probably because all you were doing was a bunch of silly nonsense that looked worse and worse as you went along. Hitting fucking golf balls around and riding on a dune buggy that you somehow magically got up there. I mean, come on with that. You'd have to be a complete freaking child to believe that. I swear to God. Yeah, I ain't buying into it. This combination of lower political will and fewer financial resources forced NASA to make some critical decisions in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Decisions that still affect Artemis today. So, namely, as the space shuttle program was winding down, NASA administrators didn't know what to do with the industry capabilities and partnerships that led to the shuttle. They decided to keep that infrastructure in place by reusing many shuttle parts, especially the engines, and folding them into the Artemis design. Yeah, had some spare model parts together. It's basically NASA poor mouthing. That's it. We don't get enough money. You people don't care enough. You people aren't happy about this. What's up, dickwad?
Yo, what's up, bruh?
What's happening, man?
Where's the bong?
Where's the bong? It's sitting right there, man. Why? Why? You want to hit it?
Nope.
No? Why? Are you some kind of square?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Probably need to loosen up a little bit, man. That's why you believe all the crazy nonsense you believe, man.
It's not nonsense. It's
Sure
real.
is, man. Sure is.
So were you
Sure
a
is
Globetrotter
nonsense,
before this?
man. I mean, don't you realize that it just defies basic fundamental physics right from like Jump Street?
But I saw the SpaceX satellites over my head.
No, I'm talking. You did. How do you know they
Yeah.
were SpaceX satellites?
Because of the fact that they were trailing after each other.
So how does that mean that they're satellites? And how did you see them?
Because
How far away are they?
I was in the other side of the world.
How far
And,
away are they?
What's that?
How far away are they?
Just from my perspective, they look like they were close to
No,
each other.
I didn't
and,
ask you how they looked. How far away were they?
I have no idea. You have to go to SpaceX to ask them.
Okay, so how far away? How big is one?
I have no idea.
Well,
It's
then
like-
how the
it's like
fuck
a-
do you know that that's what you saw?
Because I zoomed in and I saw the SpaceX logo.
You did not.
No,
No,
I did actually.
No, you didn't. Let's see the picture. Show it to us.
I didn't take any pictures. My
You
telescope.
zoomed in on it, but you didn't take a picture.
No, I didn't.
That's because you're full of shit, bro.
Okay, if you say so. So what did I see then?
I don't know what you saw. I don't know that you saw anything. Well, you've already
Okay.
established yourself that you're a liar.
Oh, actually, there is pictures. Actually, there is pictures. If you Google it, you can find it.
Google again. Google. So I don't even know you saw shit.
Oh no,
Okay?
if you
'Cause
actually
you've already
Google it,
established
you'll find
yourself
it.
as a fucking liar.
How am I a liar?
You've come on here and lied a bunch of times, man.
But I just told you you can find it on Google, man. You
I
want me
don't
to give you
give
the
a
link?
shit. You told me you saw
You want me to give you the link?
it. No, I don't care what Google has. You told me that you saw it.
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
Then you zoomed in on it and saw the SpaceX logo. But you don't know how far away it is. You don't know how big it is. You don't have any evidence or proof of your claim. Just some bullshit that you said.
I have evidence. I just told you.
Where? What evidence? Where?
I'll paste it in the chat.
No, are you going to put a Google link? I want to see your evidence that you saw the SpaceX logo on a satellite that you personally witnessed. You don't have it.
I'll show you, man.
And you can't.
I'll paste it in the chat.
Okay. This is your video. This is your picture.
Yeah, because like a lot of people saw it. Like a lot of people took pictures of it.
You said that you saw it, zoomed in, and
There you go.
saw.
I'll paste it in the chat.
Okay. Is this the Guardian? So you're the Guardian? Like that's an article, dude. That is an article from the Guardian.
Why don't you open it for the
Well, because that's not what was asked for, was it? I didn't. Did I say post me an article link to the Guardian? No, I said show me your proof that you saw the logo of SpaceX on a fucking satellite with your own two eyes.
I don't have proof of that, but I showed you the proof.
Because you didn't. Because you didn't.
But I showed you the proof from somebody else.
That's not proof of anything. All that is proof that you know how to use a search engine. That's all that is.
So you're denying evidence. Okay, that's cool.
That's not evidence. That's you posting an article from the Guardian. You claimed that you saw the satellite with your own eyes and zoomed in and saw the logo. And I said, you're full of shit. You don't know how far away it is. You don't know how far away it is. You don't know how big it is.
Do you want to share your screen so everyone can see it?
Go ahead and put up whatever you got to put up.
No. I pasted in the link for you to share your screen.
You're talking about the article from the Guardian. The article in the Guardian is not evidence.
But just click on it so everyone can see it.
Go ahead and put it in the regular chat.
Yeah, I just did.
Nobody's interested in the fucking Guardian. You said.
Oh, okay. So you're scared to show it to people. Okay.
I'm not scared to show it to people. I'm just not going to waste anybody's time with it.
It doesn't, dude. It's literally 2 seconds. Like,
are you mentioned in the article at all?
Oh my god, this is so.
Are you mentioned in the article at all?
This is so childish, man.
Are you mentioned in the article? How does that article pertain to your claim?
Because if you actually showed it to people, the people in the chat would agree with me.
No, they won't. The people in the chat fucking hate you.
I
don't know if you know how to read the room, but everybody here thinks you're a fucking lying dick.
What have I said that's a lie? Seriously.
That you actually saw the logo on the side of a fucking satellite?
Yeah, I did.
No,
you don't have to take my word for it. I don't really care, but I showed you
don't take your word for it. You're a known liar.
But I showed you other sources.
You haven't shown anything. You pulled up an article from the Guardian. You're not the Guardian. You didn't write the fucking article. The article's not about you.
Do you mind sharing the screen?
Go ahead and pull it up on your computer and share it yourself.
I can. I'm using.
Now that shit out of luck, then, ain't you?
So and this is what I'm talking about. You guys are
shit out of luck, ain't you, bro?
So you're dishonest.
There's nothing dishonest about it. You made a claim that you can't back up.
I just did. I pasted.
No, you didn't back up because that article has nothing to do about your claim.
Hi guys.
What's up, dude?
Not much. Just for the record, I like you, Globetards, to me.
So
there's a
thank you
that
very
likes
much.
You. Hey, Gary.
What?
There's a person in chat that likes him. Me.
There is.
Yeah.
A person or a troll?
Person.
No,
I'm not
a troll.
Thank you very much.
You're a troll.
I like you.
No, you're a troll, Luca.
Why?
You're a troll. You already know you are.
What makes me a troll? define the word.
Dave says he used to watch Monty Python. Not used to, I still do. In fact, I'm going to watch Life of Brian. I've been having a real, I don't know, hankering to watch that one. That one, and that's probably one of my favorite ones of their movies. But The Meaning of Life, yeah, that one's great. That one. But yeah, now I'm hosting it. Cool, wonderful. But yeah, you don't know how far away these satellites are or nothing. You just no
Yo, bro,
size.
can you share the
You don't
link I
know.
pasted?
You don't know nothing about them. All right. So
The
let's see.
evidence
I'm
is in
going to
the
see if
chat.
he'll
If you
tell
don't
me.
want to look at the evidence, you are denying evidence.
What evidence are you talking about? How is this evidence? I'm looking at it right now. Oh,
Yeah,
wait a second. Hold the fucking phone here. 280 miles away. Now,
that sounds right.
280 miles away. You think that you could see something approximately the size of a dishwasher at 280 miles away. That is incredibly naive. That is incredibly naive.
They can see.
No, you can't see an object 280 miles away that's only the size of a fucking dishwasher. Get out of here with that.
In close Earth orbit from satellites, they can see.
They're not in sunlight. You're in the dark. You're in the dark.
They can see the flag they placed on the moon.
Sure, they can.
So
sure, who's
that,
they? Who's they?
We can see.
Hold on. Let me ask you something, Luca. Who's they?
The people in the satellites.
Who? People in the satellites? Now there's people in the satellites?
Well, yeah. There's the ISS is.
We're talking about this Starlink. Timmy said that he actually saw one and zoomed in on it and saw the SpaceX logo on the side of it. So he zoomed in. Listen to me. He zoomed in on an object going 17,500 miles an hour. That's only the size of a dishwasher. That's 280 miles away. Get the fuck out of here.
That's possible.
Get the fuck out of here. You didn't see any such thing. Either that, if you did, it had its own light source and it was not 280 miles away. Sorry.
I mean, it's reflective material.
What's if you're seeing it at night, what's it reflecting?
Sun.
You're on the dark side. There is no sun. It's being blocked by the earth, fool.
No, it's not.
The sun's being blocked by the earth.
It's not.
No.
Yes.
It's not.
In your model,
when you're high enough, you can get sun coming.
No, how are you going to get up that high?
By throwing a rocket up in there. Like, what are you
well, you got to get through the containment, man. How are you going to get through the containment?
There's no containment, man.
There has to be containment.
You sound like an 8-year-old.
No, there has to be containment. There has to be.
This isn't
unless you can actually demonstrate.
Like
unless you can actually demonstrate a volume of gas without containment, a pressurized volume of gas without containment, just shut the fuck up. And if you want to scream gravity, I'm sorry, you're going to have to prove to me. You're going to have to prove to me that gas has a downward acceleration.
Okay, awesome. Okay, why is it that when I climb Mount Kilimanjaro, why is it harder to breathe at the peak of the mountain?
Well, there's a few factors involved. You have lost some of the elements that you have down here at sea level where you're used to. You are have changed temperature greatly, which also affects the behavior of the gases. So we've got the Boltzmann's constant, along with Dalton's law, that are both working continuously, I might add, due to the fluctuation of pressure or
have you done skydiving?
Temperature and light.
Have you ever done skydiving?
Yes.
You do realize it's the difficulty of breathing when you're skydiving,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. And I just explained to you why that is. I just explained to you why that is.
There's no snow there. There's no nothing. Why is it difficult for me to skydive in Dubai, where it's bloody hot all day? Why
What
is
are
it
you talking
difficult for me
about?
to
It's
breathe?
not difficult to skydive. From what altitude?
No, like oxygen. There's a little.
From what
oxygen.
altitude?
There's literally little oxygen as
From
you go
what
up. Why is
altitude?
there little oxygen when you go up?
You can go up to 10,000 feet. There's no problem.
Oh my god, my brain.
No, like there's a gas
Yeah,
gradient.
you'll get tired quicker. You'll get tired quicker. There is less oxygen. Yes, absolutely,
I've never heard
100%. But I
anyone
just
so
explained to
anti-science in
you.
my life.
I just explained to
Oxygen.
you why, didn't I?
Oxygen is heavier than helium, so it rests below helium, and oxygen is also heavier than other gases.
No, it's
too,
not a
so it
layer
rests
cake. It's a
below
dynamic system.
the
I'm
other
sorry,
gases,
Luca.
so
Luca.
it rests
Luca.
where we are.
Luca. You're
Can
wrong.
you show me any
It's a
scientific papers that
dynamic.
you've written?
Listen. It's a dynamic system. Okay. You've got several laws
How do you?
working
What's the
in
experiment for
tangent,
this?
working in tangent with one another.
Show me the independent variable and the dependent variable.
What are you talking about? The independent variable and the
What's
dependent
the
variable?
independent dependent variable in your
Of
system?
what?
You experimented this, right? That's how
What
you know this.
experiment are you talking about? Nobody brought
No,
up an
did you
experiment.
conduct an experiment
No
to
one
determine
has
this?
brought up an experiment, fool.
So you did not conduct an experiment to determine this.
Wait a second. We already know what gas laws are in play.
Okay, show me the
What
experiment.
experiment would you need in order?
Guys,
What
I
are you?
know
What are you
unicorns are
trying? What are
real.
you trying to
That's
figure
nothing.
out?
That's just blah blah
What
blah.
are you
You're just
trying
making
to
a
figure
claim.
out? First off,
You are making a claim. Show me the
what claim
experiment.
am I making?
You're making all these kinds of claims. Show me the
I'm
experiment.
not making
Otherwise,
any
shut
claims.
your goddamn mouth
I'm not
up,
making
bro.
claims. I'm merely telling you
Show
gas
me the
laws.
experiment then.
Experiment of what?
Show me the experiment that your system works.
Experiment of what?
Of what you literally just claimed.
What did I claim? Joule's free expansion of gas? Did I claim Dalton's law? Those are all well-known physical facts, my
Okay,
friend.
go ahead. Conduct the experiment and give us the
What
independent
experiment are
dependent
you
variables.
trying to get?
Guys, this is what I'm talking about.
Well, what experiment are you wanting?
They
What do you want to
demand
see?
that we
Dalton's
give
law?
them
What
they
experiment
demand
in
that we
what?
give them experiments.
Experiment
But when we
in
ask for
what?
experiments,
What is
when
the
we ask for
experiment you're looking
scientific
for?
papers, when we ask for these
What are
things,
you
they
looking for
have
an
nothing.
experiment on?
All they have is blah 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 blah. Claim after
Well,
claim
no,
after claim.
look,
They have
stupid ass.
absolutely nothing.
Okay, right on. So, what specifically of an experiment are you wanting to have?
Oh my god, I'm losing brain cells.
You
Oh,
didn't have any to
fucking
start with.
stupid.
You didn't have any
You
brain
made a
cells to
claim.
start with, Timmy.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
No.
If I said unicorns exist, it's me. I have to conduct the experiment. I need to demonstrate with evidence that exists. I can just
Okay.
go, hey, unicorns exist.
Okay.
I
Right.
need to show the fucking evidence.
Okay.
Your
Are you
experiment?
saying that Dalton's law doesn't exist?
You don't understand
Are
his
you
law.
saying that
You don't
Dalton's law
understand his
doesn't
law.
exist? Yes
You
or
don't
no?
understand his law. You do
I
not
don't.
understand it. You don't.
Why don't you explain it to me then?
You don't.
Go ahead and explain it.
I'm still
Go ahead,
waiting for
explain
the
it to me.
experiment. Show me the independent dependent
Explain.
variables.
No. Explain
Okay, you know
Dalton's
what?
law.
You're dishonest. You're dishonest.
Well, tell
You're
me.
dishonest.
Explain Dalton's law. What is
You're
Dalton's?
dishonest.
What is
I'm
Dalton's
over.
law?
I'm done.
Well, you are dumb. Yes.
No,
You're
I'm
extremely
done.
dumb.
You're
What is
literally
Dalton's law?
just so dishonest,
What
bro.
is Dalton's law?
Oh my god, my brain.
What is Dalton's law? What brain? You don't have one to hurt.
Did you take
Go
any
ahead.
physics classes at all?
Yes. So what is Dalton's law?
I'm gonna leave, man.
What
I
is
don't have time
Dalton's
for
law?
this. You're stupid.
You don't know?
Seriously.
You don't know?
Stupid. The guy has 0 experiments. All he done the entire time is make claim after claim after claim after claim.
Do you just go? It's okay if you
Claim-
don't know what it
Imagine if
is.
we-
I can
imagine
tell
if
you
we-
what it is.
Imagine if the scientific community
I can
did
tell
that.
you what
Just
it is
claim
if you
after
don't
claim
know.
After claim after claim.
You don't
They
know?
have 0 evidence.
So you're
they have
retarded.
0 nothing. They have no model. They have nothing. These people are stupid.
So what's Dalton's law?
I'm out of here, bro. I don't have time for stupid.
Don't let the door
Seriously.
hit you in the ass.
Yeah,
Nobody's
shut the
holding
fuck
you
up
here.
and kill yourself, you stupid
Nobody's
faggot.
here. And
Bitch boy, shut the fuck up,
holding
faggot,
you
bitch.
here.
Bitch.
Look at you, poor little fucker. Can't handle it. Can't handle it. See how they get? See how they get? He knows. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's your hero, Luca. You chose the side of a loser.
It's
You know what that makes you?
What?
A loser?
It's not my hero, but you know.
You were supporting him. That's your guy.
I do
That's your
support
guy.
him.
That's your guy.
We've just met on here a few times, so it's not all of my.
So let me ask you what it was
but
you like about that retard. Anyways, what is it that you actually liked about him? What did
I
he actually ever
agree with
say that made any fucking sense whatsoever?
So why wouldn't you be able to see the logo on the side of the Starlink satellite?
What's that?
Well, why wouldn't you be able to see the logo on the Starlink satellite?
How would you be able to see it?
Using binoculars or something?
Using binoculars or something. Okay.
Telescope?
I want you to try and pick out a Volkswagen logo from 280 miles away.
Up?
I don't care. Use whatever kind of telescope you want to use, binoculars, any other goddamn thing you want to. Go ahead. Try to see a McDonald's sign 280 miles away. You're not going to see it, man.
You probably would.
You're not going to see it. You live in cartoon world.
No.
You don't have any real life experience with anything. You only go by what you think or what you've been told.
Hold on. So I understand not being able to see it across because of the curve of the Earth, but
I don't even care if it wasn't across, if there wasn't any opacity. You're not going to be able to resolve something that's that size at that distance.
Even with a telescope?
How big a telescope?
Like, well, one of
the what if they use this and what if they use that and what if this and what if that? Dude, the motherfucker was just lying. That's all. Nobody's seeing a SpaceX logo on the side of a fucking satellite. That's a lie. And to sit here and even defend such a ridiculous thing just shows that you don't have any thinking abilities, man.
Well, it's possible. So,
what's up, Flatzoid? No, it's possible, right? Okay, sure, it's possible. Get the fuck out of here with that. Picking up shit. How come then, if they got these telescopes, it's not like we've gotten really more powerful telescopes that would be beyond the resolution needed to be able to see the flag on the moon? But go on out there, get me a picture of that flag on the moon. I want to see that sucker. If somebody else will show you one, you'll never be able to see it. I'll guarantee it.
Should I Google an image of the flag?
No, don't Google it. Go get your telescope and go out and find it. Go find the fucking flag on the moon. I don't give a shit what Google has to say. Google.
I'll buy a telescope then.
There you go.
Take a picture of the. But what would you say if I did manage to take?
You're not going to. You know why? Because it's not there. Nobody ever went there. Nobody's going to go there. It's not a place. It's not even a place.
Okay, then what if I took a picture of the logo on the side of the satellite?
Yeah, go ahead. I want to see that. From 280 miles away on an object the size of a dishwasher. You go ahead and snap that picture. You go ahead. Yeah, right. 135,000 miles away. Oh, wait, they say they can't. Right.
You said 200
Well, he's talking about the flag on the moon, much less than 280 miles away. That's how far that thing is. That's what this thing that guy sent.
The satellite.
Yep. The Starlink satellites, which were at an altitude of 280 miles. That's what they're talking about.
The Starlink.
I don't know if you caught that, Flatzoid, but Timmy Bob said that he zoomed in and saw the SpaceX logo on the side of a Starlink satellite. Yeah, just look up images on the Guardian. That's exactly right, Brian. That's what they were doing. It's like that guy. He ended up just showing the possessed little piece of shit that he actually is, though. That's what they all end up doing. They get all mad and bitch, 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 bitch. I think we had Brenda freak out on us on here one night too, calling us bigot white trash or hillbilly white trash or some other shit like that. And then he blew out of here. Yeah, he did. He rage quit. He couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it. It's because when you pin them down to that impossibilities, man, that's where they get it. That's where they get it. That's where they all lose their shit. Right there, man. Right there. What was I was gonna find? I had another thing on here too. I was gonna check out. Oh yeah, so here's another thing. This must be you're gonna have to get up on that spectroscopy there, Flatsoid. Check this out here, what they found out. That Saturn's ocean moon, it has an ocean moon. I didn't know this. Okay. Let me stop sharing that one. Let me present this one. No, that's not the one. Damn it. I keep picking the wrong one. In fact, I can get rid of that. Boom. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. Saturn's ocean moon. There it is. And Enceladus, is that how it's pronounced? Is able to support life. My research team is working out how to detect extraterrestrial cells. So they're going to try to detect cells on a moon around Saturn. These people are hopeful children. As a planetary scientist and astrobiologist who studies ice grains how do you study a fucking ice grain from a moon on Saturn? I'm interested in whether there is life on this or other icy moons. I also want to understand how scientists like me could detect it. Well, first off, I want to know what the science behind studying ice grains from Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, is done. Do you capture them and what? What are they talking about? What is that flying off there? It says a snapshot of Cassini flying through the plumes of Enceladus during its final orbits between April and September 2017. A snapshot. That's a photograph. They're telling you that is a photograph of the Cassini flying through the plumes of Enceladus during its final orbits between April and September 2017. Look at that. Cool. Clear as hell.
Cool.
How did they get that? Look at that. That's not fake at all.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Well, it's right out of a sci-fi movie, my friend. So this guy is he's a planetary scientist, astrobiologist. Think about this. Talk about making up a fucking field of study.
You don't
astrobiologist. And I guess they give out that. I guess you get that degree at same place as you get your ancient alien theorist degree at.
Do you wanna meet a chicken nugget expert?
A chicken nugget expert?
Yeah, that's a thing apparently.
Well, I might as well.
An expert.
Useless.
So if that's a thing, then anything could be a thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, right. Dylan Heron says that's like claiming to know what's in your neighbor's. What do you say? That's like claiming to know what's in your neighbor's basement freezer by looking at their house with binoculars. You absolutely. Yeah, right. Exactly, LJ. 80% of the world's oceans remain unexplored yet. Let's explore fucking space. I know. I'm gonna put my little banner up for a little bit before I go here tonight too. Yes, I know Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind is spelled wrong in my PayPal thing, but that's how it is. Okay, I'm in the middle of making one that's much easier. So just letting y'all know that right off the bat.
Blah. That's like,
yeah, that thing is huge. How big is it?
more-
So
more
let's
people-
see if we can find out how big the Cassini spacecraft is.
You know what?
Let's see.
You know what's a fact as well? More people have walked on the moon than been to Challenger Deep
What?
in the ocean. More people have walked on the moon than explored the deep depths of the ocean.
Okay, so
So
the Cassini orbiter weighs,
it's easier.
it's 22 feet long and 13 feet wide is how big the Cassini spacecraft is. So this thing is 13 by 22 feet or 6.7 meters by 4 meters. And I'm supposed to believe, how small is this fucking moon? Do you realize how little this thing is? Right? I just pulled up how big
You
is
don't think
the Cassini?
technology could do it?
What?
You don't think technology could do it?
Wait a second. It's not a question of technology, Luke. I want you to look at the photograph on the screen. Okay? And this thing here, this is the Cassini.
Yeah,
You see all this curvature right here, right? Okay?
Yeah.
This Cassini is only 6.7 meters by 4 meters wide. This thing is only 22 feet long and 13 feet wide. And they're looking at this all the way from Earth and snap this photograph. And this thing, this must be a really small ass moon. If I'm to believe that right there is real. And so you're telling me that they zoomed in on something roughly the size of a car, light pickup truck, all the way out at Saturn, around one of the moons of Saturn, and got this clear image. You actually really believe that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You want to buy a bridge? I got a really cool bridge. It's got a lot of history behind it. I'll sell it to you for $500. You can cash app that to me and I'll send you a deed. Sound good?
What's the bridge?
It's called the White House Bridge. It's in Luray, Virginia. It's very historical. The original was burnt in the Civil War. It's now a bridge that goes over the Shenandoah River. It was the site of an Indian massacre back in the 1700s before the American Revolution. And I'll let you have that bridge for the low price of $500. Just go ahead and cash app it to me, and I own it. I own it.
I mean, that moon is. I just looked it up, and that moon is very small.
Okay, how much is very small?
The Earth's moon is about.
No, not the
3,000
Earth's moon. I'm looking for the one here. How big is it? Just give me a fucking size. Just give me a size. I don't want to hear all this other preamble shit.
Okay. 500 kilometers.
500 kilometers.
Yeah.
Okay. 500 kilometers.
Quite small.
That means 250 kilometer radius. And that object right there is 22 feet long. And you still don't see a problem?
What do you think the problem is?
I think that there's way too much curvature, or else the Cassini spacecraft is, 100 times bigger than what they say. I mean, if you can't work that out in your own brain, I don't know what to tell you, man.
How big is
if
the
you can't
space-
really work that out in your own brain, I don't know what to tell you.
How big is the Cassini spacecraft?
That's what I just said. It's 22 feet long and 13 feet wide.
Okay.
Feet. 22 feet long and 13 feet wide.
Okay.
And this thing is supposed to be 500-mile diameter or 500 kilometers. What's that in regular? What's 500 kilometers in miles?
300. Oh wait, no, that's the other way. Oh no, it wouldn't be. It would be 310. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So that's like really big compared to this. This right here would be about the size of, I don't know, a radius of maybe 1,000 yards compared to this thing. Come on,
So-
man. I don't
so,
know
I
where
mean,
you come up with shit, man. I don't know where you come up with shit, but if that actually looks real to you, I'm sorry, bro. You don't have
It does. Well, what's wrong?
what?
What's like? Why does it look fake?
Because of the radius that we're witnessing in comparison to a 22-foot long object.
And
That's
this is
why.
space.
What?
I mean, compared to space.
What do you mean compared to space? I'm comparing it to the
Relatively
fucking
small.
planet that's supposed to be 500 kilometers in diameter.
Well, compared to the planet, it's
Yeah, it's
very
like
small.
gargantuan.
Very small.
Okay? Come on. So it says the Saturn has 146 confirmed moons, more than
Okay.
any other planet in the solar system. But one
Okay.
called Enceladus stands out. It appears to have the ingredients for life. Now, how the
Okay.
fuck would they know this? But well, yeah, they had this giant thing right here, right? It's gigantic. Joint
They've
mission.
studied them.
What?
They've studied them. That's how they can say that, one of the moons have the ingredients for life
How would they know that?
by studying
How do you study it?
Yeah, you can use different. You can use you can use spectroscopy. You can
No, you can't.
send satellites.
No, you
to
can't
it
use spectroscopy. You can't. No, sorry.
to see what
No,
stuff
no,
it
you
has.
can't. No, I'm sorry, you can't.
Why not?
Because it
That's
doesn't
it.
work that way.
Like that's to see what
It doesn't
stuff
work
it-
that way. That's not how spectroscopy works. It doesn't work that way.
We used to.
You would have to actually study it, wouldn't you? You'd have to put your hands on it.
Spectroscopy tells us what the sun.
No, it doesn't tell us. Well, not looking at objects, 450 million miles away or whatever the fuck. You're not going to tell you anything about that at all. Not factually, anyhow.
And we've sent probes.
Huh?
Satellites.
How do they get the probes out of the container?
By just launching them out.
They can't. How would you
It's
get through? It would
an
pop a
open-
hole. If it did get
an
through,
open
if it did get
system.
through, there would make a hole, and
If-
then we'd lose
okay.
all our air, right?
If it was a closed system, I'd agree with you.
It is
but
a closed
Earth is
system. It has
open.
to be a closed
No,
system.
it's an open system
How can it be an open system? We have air pressure.
because we have satellites.
We have what?
So clearly, because we have
No. We might
it's
have
an open
satellites, but
system.
we don't have no satellites out in space. That's horseshit.
Because
How do
we
you
have
get them? How do you
satellites-
get them? How do you get them through the container?
Because there's no container.
There has to be. Then how do we
Why?
have air?
Because of gravity.
No, we already established that's not true.
What do you mean?
We've already established that that's not true.
Okay, let's look at let's look at gas then. Okay, gas has mass, and
Well, that's your claim.
mass has.
Your claim is that mass attracts mass, which is not
Yes.
true either.
No, it is.
No, it isn't.
We
No, it
observed
isn't. No, it
in the
isn't.
Cavendish.
No, it isn't. Nobody has ever witnessed it ever happen. Ever.
Cavendish and
No, that's your
the
assumption
Holy
that you're assuming that mass is attracting mass.
We've
You're
done
assuming
lots.
that, and the only place that it's ever witnessed is by using an experiment that wasn't designed to show that in the first place. No, I don't think so. When have you ever observed two objects drawing together?
When I jump and get pulled back down towards the earth.
Who said you're pulled? How do you know you're being pulled? How do you know you're being pulled up?
It's a force. So
no, there's no force. Where are you getting that?
Because I figure I'm there.
No, gravity. Your gravity is not even considered a force.
It's an apparent force.
No, well, it's okay. I'm an apparent fucking movie star. What the fuck does that mean?
It creates an apparent force. It's
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Because the actual reason.
How can something that doesn't even exist create anything?
The actual reason as to why gravity appears to create a force is because the bending of space-time.
Oh, okay. So can you show me some space-time?
Well, it's invisible.
Well, it's invisible. Can you? How would I know? How would I know that there is a such thing as space-time? Where would that be? How would I verify that made-up bullshit is real?
I guess orbits.
Orbits? How does that mean that there's space-time?
It proves that there's evidence for the bending of space.
What?
Well, if you think of space bending, like if you put down a sheet or something.
Well, wait a second. First off, what is space-time?
It's I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you're willing to invoke it. You're willing to use it as your argument, and you don't even know what it is. It sounds a bit like your gravity. It's like some thing that can't be proven that we just say is there.
Look, if no one taught me anything, I wouldn't know any of this stuff.
Right. Well, first off, we have to know what space-time actually is in order to verify that it exists.
Well,
so how do we verify that space-time exists and what it even is?
They can.
Who's they?
The scientists, physicists.
What scientists? Tell me a scientist. And if you know this, then why haven't you found out? You want to use this idea of space-time, and you don't even know what the hell it is, much less if it exists. And like I said, it's just like you're using gravity. You don't know it exists. You can't prove it exists. It's just some bullshit somebody made up in their head, and you went along with it based on your perception of the person that gave it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna forget all my knowledge. And
dude, that's not knowledge. That's not knowledge. Let me ask you a question. If you memorized everything about Narnia, would that mean that you have knowledge?
Yeah.
It does.
Knowledge about the movie.
Knowledge about a movie. So knowledge about something that's not real. Basically, useless knowledge, right?
It would be useless knowledge.
It would be absolutely useless knowledge, wouldn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're calling with your belief of Narnia, i.e. space and all this other bullshit, you're calling that knowledge.
Yeah.
It's not knowledge. It's useless knowledge because it's based on shit that's not true. You realize that the heliocentric model dies from its inception. Right from its inception, it's impossible.
Okay, let's go down to the basics. Let's just place a ball in space. It doesn't matter what.
Well, wait a second. There we're going by the presupposition that space is real. Now, how can we have a privation of matter that actually has matter without containment?
Let's go back to when there was nothing then. And let's place two things down. Let's place a ball over here and a flat plane over here, or something. Let's imagine if Earth was a ball or a flat plane. Both are possible right at this moment, right when there's nothing and whatever. No one's learned anything. Both are possible. Okay.
No, I don't believe that both are possible.
So, according to us, according to what we say, if we were to place another ball next to the first ball, they'll be drawn towards each other.
All right. Now there's the assumption. There is the assumption.
That's what they say.
No, there's your assumption right there.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Why? Well, yeah, that's what they say. Of course, they say a lot of shit.
Okay, let's examine these two. Okay,
so when have you ever observed in your regular life two objects being drawn together?
Just
when have you ever
go
witnessed
with me.
that? Huh?
I guess air.
Never.
Air is drawn to the ground. That's
No, it's
why
not.
we can breathe.
No, it's
we
not.
Can breathe.
Well, yes, we can. Absolutely,
yes.
We can breathe. Yes, I agree with you. And the only reason for that is the fact that we are in a contained volume of gases. Without the containment, you would not have the volume of gases that you breathe right now. There is no other way to get a volume of gas for any reason, whether you're in a vacuum, which doesn't exist in nature, or whether or not in a vacuum. Gas is not going to coalesce into a mass ever.
It's a low pressure system.
It's a what?
It's a low pressure system.
Yeah, I agree. But for you to have any pressure whatsoever and have it maintained, there has to be containment. Without containment, you don't have the volume. Without the volume, you don't have any pressure. It's all done. Boom.
Let's go back to
your whole story. Yes, right. Gas has no inherent volume.
Let's get back.
Therefore, it requires containment.
Let's go back to what both our theories at this moment. Okay.
Mine's not a theory. Mine is an observation. What I postulate as an observation. What you clowns have come along with is something that goes completely against not only my observations, but all rational known physical science.
Okay, we're going to imagine. Okay. What we say is mass attracts mass.
Yeah, you say that, but that's just you saying that.
What do you say? What causes us when we jump, we fall back down?
Because the medium won't support you.
Okay, so because the medium doesn't support us, we go down.
Right.
Okay.
You're heavier than the medium you displace. Let me ask you something. What happens if you're standing on the bottom of a pool, a swimming pool, and you jump up? What happens then?
We slowly go back down.
No, you won't go back down. You'll go up to the surface. You'll go up to the surface. You're not gonna walk. Have you ever tried to walk on the bottom of a pool completely underwater?
All you do is let out your air.
Have you ever? I don't care. Let out your air. Have you ever tried to walk across the bottom of a swimming pool in water?
Yes.
Yeah. And how'd you do?
I did all right.
You had to keep pushing yourself down. Down. Yes, you did. Dude, you're talking to a guy that grew up on the lake, bro. So don't start your lying now. If you start lying, I'm going to throw you out of here. I swear to God.
No, once you let out all your air in your lungs,
you didn't try. You have not done this at all.
You sink to the bottom once
you're
you
going
let out
by
all your air.
So you're going by what you think, not by what's experienced.
No, I've done it. I've let out.
And
all
you
my
didn't have
air
to
in my
keep pushing
lungs and
yourself. You
sunk
didn't
to the
have to
bottom.
keep. You didn't have to keep waving the water to make yourself stay on the bottom.
No.
Bullshit.
Okay. Okay.
Bullshit.
Why would I lie?
Because that's your nature. Because you're possessed by demons, Luke. That's why.
Okay.
That's why you can't help it. None of you guys can. That's what you do.
Okay.
Projection and lying.
Okay.
I mean, I'm serious. That's what you guys do. 100% of the
No,
time.
it's not.
It is.
I've experienced. No, I've never
You've never,
experienced a globe earther intentionally lie, but I have
dude.
experienced flat
They
earthers
intentionally
intentionally
lie all the time because your
that's what you guys
entire
do.
existence is a fucking lie.
You guys lie.
No,
You're wrong
about what?
Yeah,
About what?
that one time David Weiss said,
I'm not David
police
Weiss. What have
photos
I
were
lied about?
different, but the photos were actually the same.
What
So
did
David Weiss lied.
What?
He said these 3 photos were from Apollo 9, 10, and 11 or something. But they weren't. They were all the same photos from the
Well,
same
that's what
distance
McToon
away.
says. But McToon's full of shit too. Just like the rest of you lying suckwads, man. What, I'm supposed to believe McToon, who's also a known liar? Or how about
When
Craig?
did he intentionally lie?
Oh,
When
my
did Craig
ass. You know he
intentionally
intentionally lies. The motherfucker, if you
No.
can't look at that man and tell he's lying to you, then, dude, buy my bridge. I'm serious. Cash App me right now or PayPal $500 US, and I will sell you the Luray White House Bridge. I swear to God. Believe me.
Well, that's a lie.
Believe me. Come on. You don't believe me and you're talking to me in person and you believe in somebody you've never even talked to before? Really? And I'm going to sell you. Do you know what a steal that is? $500 for a historic bridge like the Luray White House Bridge?
I actually
direct access to the Luray Caverns. Are you kidding? You could make a killing.
I actually have talked to Craig before.
Oh, okay.
Over Discord.
Sure. I bet you guys had a hell of a conversation.
And I've talked to PhD Tony as well.
Well, there you go. There's one. I really take into account the things that he has to say. I'll tell you, anybody that looks like they're on the verge of having a stroke at any second is definitely somebody that's that uptight and worked up about their fucking dumbass globe lie. You know, I'm going to start polls when that guy comes on, see who can get it right. When is this guy going to have a fucking stroke? You know? So that's pretty crazy. But no, man, those guys are full of shit. You guys, your helio nonsensical model dies right from inception. You have no proof of gravity. You have no proof that if there was gravity, that gas is anyhow affected by it. You cannot show me a volume of gas coalescing together for any reason whatsoever outside of a container. I mean, you got your whole idea is Disneyland bullshit. I mean, if you can't get past those basic physical impossibilities, then what have you got? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And this is how you guys operate, man. You got to make up shit like Timmy Bob got to come in here and say, I actually saw the logo on the side of a Starlink. Shut up. You didn't see any such damn thing, man. Come on. So
I'm going.
Dishonesty of you guys, man.
I have a pool. I'm going to record myself sinking to the bottom without doing anything.
I want you to walk across the bottom of the pool.
Without using my arms. Just
yes.
my legs.
Just
Okay.
your legs. Just walk like you would up above ground. You'll have a hell of a time. You'll have a hell of a time keeping yourself on the bottom.
I'll have a hell of a time breathing.
Yeah, that's
But that's
absolutely
all.
true. Bottom line is this: you change the medium, you change the weight. It's that simple. There's nothing pulling you to the bottom of the pool.
Just breathing.
Nothing pulling you to the bottom of the pool. No other such nonsense like that at all. None of that's going on.
I'll have trouble breathing, and that's all. That's all I'll have trouble with. Not
Hell, you can go.
under.
You could go as long as the water's over your head. Make it be, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches over top of your head as you stand upright. Use a snorkel.
All right.
That ain't hard. I've tried it, dude. I grew up on a lake. I spent, as soon as the water was bearable after the ice melted to the time where it would become unbearable to go in the water, I spent damn near every day in the water. I didn't give a shit if it was raining. I thought, what the hell? You already get wet. I was in the lake.
You let out the air in your lungs and
I've done all kinds of things, man. I've done all kinds of things. I've done all kinds of experiments, like thinking it'd be really cool to use a tube and try to go down really, really deep, and realizing that there's no way that you can draw air through a tube underwater that far. You get to a certain depth and you cannot pull the air down through there. You can't.
Yeah, but that's what the tanks are for.
Right. So why would that be then?
For scuba diving?
Yeah, but why would it be that once you got to, like, say 10 feet deep and you have like a hose hooked up to your mouth that you can suck air through, and the other end of the hose is stuck up over the surface, you can't draw any air through that hose? What's going on?
Carbon dioxide.
No.
Because you breathe out carbon dioxide.
No. You can't even draw any air through the hose. You won't be able to suck hard enough to get the air to come through.
Again, it's a force.
What force?
Well, your sucking creates a force.
Right. Okay. Why isn't it sufficient to draw it down to 10 feet deep?
Well, because no, it's not. Look it up.
Yeah, you have to look it up. Why don't you try and think about it for yourself for a minute? Think about it and see what comes up. Try to use your brain once in a while, man. Instead of having to ask your Google and shit questions all the time. Think on it. Make your best approach at it. See what you come up with, and then compare it to what you find. You know what I'm saying? Quit relying on other people to tell you shit. Or you can simply Cash App me $500 or PayPal at sovereignsoulunchainedmind@gmail.com. Send me that $500, and buddy, the deed to the historic Luray White House Bridge is yours. Set up a toll booth on there, tourist season, you'll make a killing. 100, telling you, man. You should believe me, because after all, I told you, and you're talking to me in person. So why would I lie, right?
Pressure.
So what causes that pressure?
So the weight of the water column in the tube creates a pressure that must be overcome for air to enter the tube from the top.
Yep.
The deeper the tube, the higher the pressure due to the weight of the water above. This pressure is
but think about this. Hold on, wait a second, Luke. Think about this, though. So shouldn't that open tube, and if air is held down by gravity, surely that little bit of pressure of the water wouldn't prevent the air from falling down that tube and allowing you to be able to breathe, right? Because after all, you got gravity, right? So that gravity should make that air fall right down that tube. It should just fall down that tube. There's no resistance, nothing to resist it. So what's going on there? Pretty crazy. I guess gravity doesn't pull air, does it?
Imagine the tube is like a straw then, in
Yeah.
a glass of water. If
Yeah.
you put a straw into water and cover the top with your
Yeah.
finger, the
Yeah.
water stays in the draw.
I know.
The straw, even when you lift it above the surface.
Ain't that something? And gravity doesn't pull it down.
Yeah, that's because
And
the
it doesn't.
pressure
It doesn't.
inside the straw-
Think about this. Why doesn't the gravity pull the water down and suck your finger inside of the straw?
That's because the pressure inside the straw is less than the atmospheric pressure outside. The water does not fall because the air can't get in to replace it.
That's
due to
right.
the high external pressure.
That's right.
When you want to drink, you suck the air out of the straw,
Right.
lowering the pressure inside the straw even more, and the atmospheric pressure pushes the liquid up into
So gravity
your mouth.
didn't fuck with any of it. Gravity was not at play anywhere there, was it? Not even for
No,
a second.
because of the atmospheric. Because
Not
of the
even a
pressure.
second.
Yeah.
No,
of the
because
pressure.
you just showed that gravity doesn't have the effect on gases that you said it should. It didn't. It did not have the effect. It didn't
Because
cause
of-
the air to drop down into the tube.
Because of the atmospheric pressure.
Well,
It
there you
didn't-
go. So I guess that the pressure overrides your gravity. And if
Yeah,
pressure can override gravity, that means that our atmos against a 10 to the negative 17 torr vacuum of space would not exist without containment. So you just admitted that pressure was greater than gravity. Okay. So there you go. Why you still want to cling on to this dumb shit? I don't understand.
It's not that it overrides it. It's more that they work together in different
They
ways.
work together now.
In different ways.
So how is it working together? Show me the part where it's working together.
Okay, let's see. Gravity acts as a force, pulling objects towards the Earth's
Prove
center.
that. Prove it.
And
Do you have proof of that?
pressure.
Wait a second.
and-
Do you have any proof of that?
What? That gravity acts like a force.
Yeah.
Well, we see mass attracting mass.
No, we don't ever see mass attracting mass. No one has ever seen that.
The Schehelian, the Cavendish.
Cavendish
lots of
is not
other-
showing mass attracting mass.
What's it
That's
showing?
not showing that. You mean the only place we ever see mass attracting mass is with a Cavendish experiment? That's it?
No.
Then where else do you see that?
There's lots of other experiments.
Wait. Where do you ever see mass attracting mass?
All the time, if you set up an experiment.
Well, no. When in your world, you live in the world, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When have you ever witnessed objects coming together, drawing together for any reason whatsoever?
I guess them falling to the ground.
Well, that's why not falling into a mountain or falling into a big block of lead.
Well, because the Earth's gravity exerts a much greater.
Oh, wait a second. If the Earth's gravity exerts a greater force, then how in the fuck is your Cavendish working?
Well, it's pulling sideways,
Ha!
not downwards.
Yeah, well, no, it's not.
Yeah, it works sideways.
No, it doesn't. If it did, then you'd get pulled into a mountain or you'd get pulled into a big lead block.
But the Earth.
You would feel a draw to
way
it, wouldn't you?
stronger.
And you don't see that.
The
What would
force
happen if
behind
I
it
was
is
on a
greater.
pair of roller skates and I had a big 10-foot cube of lead sitting over on the other side of the room? And I stood there with a pair of roller skates facing this block of lead. Would that draw me to the block of lead?
No,
No, why?
because of the gravity of the Earth.
Well, then if
The
the gravity of the
lead-
Earth
the lead's
prevents,
too
if
small.
hold on, wait a second. If the gravity of the Earth is preventing those two masses from being attracted together, why is it not preventing the
it's
objects
too
in your
small.
Cavendish experiment from drawing together.
It's too small.
It's too small.
The lead is too
So
small.
if I take, all right, let me
That's
ask you this then: if I put a little lead ball on a flat, smooth table, and another little bit lead ball over on a flat, smooth table, how long till they roll together?
Well, the weight of them would probably keep them on the table. You'd have
So
to
wait a second. So they don't
string.
have any weight if they're hanging from a string?
No, they do, but
They
the
do. They
weight
still
comes
have weight.
downward.
Okay, wait a second. So where is the weight? Where is the pressure of the weight being exerted at? What point is that weight being exerted?
We're not actually measuring the balls. I'm measuring the torsion. Like that.
All right. Well, you didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question.
What was it?
How is it different hanging these things from a string as opposed to having them sitting on a smooth table?
Well, we can't really measure the gravitational force.
You didn't measure any gravitational force.
Because there's nothing to measure.
That's right. And there wasn't any other either. So how does hanging from a string, which is obviously connected to something that's connected to the earth, which is being supposedly affected by gravity, how is that any different than having them sitting on a table?
Because a string is way lighter, and a string can actually...
So the ball is lighter if it's on a string than it is if it's on a smooth table?
It can torque. It like twists.
So you had a cable twist, and that told you that mass attracted mass.
It's like having a ball on this side with a thing next to it, and having a ball on the other side with a thing next to it, and then having them twist the string by them getting.
Are they on a central pivot?
Pivot point.
Okay, there's a pivot point. Is the weight of both of those objects being exerted onto that pivot point? Yes.
I forget what the experiment
yes, it is.
Was.
Yes, it is. It is. Okay.
Okay.
So now instead of the weight of the ball being on the table, it's up here exerting it down the same as it was with the same gravity on the same fucking table that the balls won't move toward each other on, but they will if they're hanging. Really? That's retarded. That's completely retarded.
It would twist.
And that's all you've got. That's the best you've got for mass attracting mass. Whereas nobody ever sees this anywhere else. It never happens. I never get up in one day and see that my lighter has somehow moved over next to my incense burner or anything else like that. All the pieces of furniture in my home, regardless of size or mass, both collect an equal amount of dust. Whereas if you were correct, the largest object would collect the majority of the dust and have a thicker layer on it, but it doesn't.
Dust is spread everywhere.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yep. Because the whole story of mass attracting mass is nothing more than a childlike fantasy that has absolutely no basis in reality. None.
So,
nobody's ever witnessed such a preposterous thing occurring ever for any reason.
So if I have this right, in what we say when we say mass attracts mass, which you don't believe, you think
you just say that because you've been fucking programmed to say it. You've never witnessed it.
You say, what was it? Relative density or something?
Relative density disequilibrium. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, so we're we're heavier than the air.
Correct.
So we fall down.
Correct.
Because there's nothing supporting us.
Right.
Okay, so let's go back to our 2 planets then.
There's no such thing. Wait a second. How about we make it 2 unicorns, make one a male, the other one a female, and have the female be in heat. Okay. So she's in season. And okay, so now what happens?
I guess I'll have sex.
Yep, there you go. So, I mean, as long as we're talking about imaginary bullshit, why not, right? If we have 2 planets. If a frog had wings, it wouldn't bump its ass every time it jumps.
This is an if. So
yes, big if. Big if.
Okay, let's get into our imagination. Okay.
Well, no, that's what we're trying to get out of. We're trying to get out of imagination land. Okay, you spend too much time in imagination land. Okay, you spend way too much time in imagination land.
We have a ball here and a ball here.
Okay.
And then according to what we say, when we say mass attracts mass.
Okay.
They should both get pulled towards each other.
They should, but do they in reality? Okay. We think this should happen, and so therefore it does.
Then the smaller one would get pulled towards it quicker than the other one would get pulled towards it. But they'll both still be pulling towards each other.
Sure.
Same with vice versa.
Okay, that would be if that would be if there were planets, and if mass attracted mass.
Yes.
Okay, but as you have stated, air has, as you have stated, air has mass.
Yes.
Okay. So why isn't it attracted to the earth?
It is.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
No. Show me a downward acceleration of air due to gravity. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Well, since we
No, you hypothesized it. Now show it.
Breathe.
Yes, I know we can breathe, and that's all due to the fact that we're in a contained system.
There's a gradient, though.
No, I don't. Yes, there is. Yeah. Yes, there is. There's more. There's more than one gradient as well.
We have oxygen down.
Wait a second. Oh, you're talking about a compositional gradient, or are you talking about a temperature gradient, or are you talking about a pressure gradient? Because you know what? We have all 3 of those.
Yeah, we do.
Yep, and they all work together.
So one layer of gas
and so as you apply these
layer of gas.
What?
We have the densest gas at the bottom, the less dense gas at the top, and so on. Pressure gradient.
Okay.
Gas gradient, whatever.
Okay. But what kind of a gradient though?
A gradient of gas.
Pressure?
Well, pressure too. We have that.
Okay, so can you show me gas having pressure without containment?
We have a big demonstration here on Earth.
No. That's the very thing in question. Okay. Can you demonstrate a gas pressure without containment?
I mean, it can't be done because you'd need a large scale.
No, you don't, because because you see, you're going by that bullshit of mass attracting mass again. There you go again. With absolutely no proof of it whatsoever. And just assuming that it is so.
The at EOTVOS experiment.
The what?
I am not sure how you pronounce it.
So you don't have any answers. You have to keep asking Google or something for your answers?
Well,
what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
It did.
Do you not have a brain? Do you have a fucking brain in your head?
Yeah.
Why don't you fucking use it?
Well, I'm not smart.
No. Why don't you use it? Stop using someone else's brain for a change.
Smart enough.
What?
I'm not smart enough to.
Do you have
figure
common
this stuff
sense?
out.
Do you have common sense?
Yeah.
Use that too. So let's use your common sense and find out that if you have ever witnessed a volume of gas coalescing into a mass someplace, anywhere.
On Earth?
No, I said anywhere in your experience. You're assuming again. You're making another assumption in your own personal experience, in your world. In this world where we live, can you demonstrate? And if you say it's gravity, then you would have to demonstrate air having a downward acceleration due to gravity, not just postulate it and say mass attracts mass, because that's not true. So if you think gravity can contain a gas, then you have to demonstrate gas being affected by gravity, not temperature, gravity. And you can't. In fact, you actually, a bunch of stuff you just said a few minutes ago went completely against what you postulate.
What did I say?
You were talking about the various densities and buoyancies of these gases.
Yeah.
Which again, now, these gases, what you have to understand, don't form into a. Do you think these gases are like in a layer cake or something?
Yeah, there's layers of gas.
It's layers of gas. No, there's not.
Yeah, there's oxygen
No. It's not layers. It's not layers. It's not layers. No, it's not layers.
But why can we breathe down here, not up there?
Because there's a higher concentration.
Because there's layers of
There's
gas.
a higher concentration of oxygen at sea level than there is at higher altitudes. That's why.
Yeah.
Why?
Because oxygen is getting pulled down past the other gases.
No. Oxygen does not get pulled. Oxygen does not get pulled. Show me oxygen being pulled by gravity.
Okay, so what's your explanation then?
Okay, so as I've tried to explain a million times to you numbskull people, and you never can fucking get it, that there are a host of factors and gas laws at play at one time. Okay? You have temperature, the temperature fluctuation. You have Joule's free expansion of gas, the Boltzmann's constant, Dalton's law. If you are not familiar with these, I highly suggest you look them up. I have in the past provided to you an entire list of all the gas laws, because remember, you were supposed to go through and find me the one that uses gravity, and you never did. Okay?
That's because I don't need to.
That's because there isn't one.
Well, they don't.
That's because there isn't one. What?
But gas laws are separate from gravity.
Why are they separate from gravity? Wait a second. If they're separate from gravity, how can you say that gravity holds the gases? If no gas law takes gravity into account, how can you say that gravity contains gas?
Well, I'm sure there's two, but most don't.
There's none. There are no gas laws that use gravity.
Okay, but let's assume that none do. But why would they need to anyway?
Well, don't you claim gravity to be responsible for buoyancy?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be responsible for gas behavior as well?
It certainly affects gas behavior, yeah.
Show me how. Show me how and where.
Gas gets pulled down.
No, it doesn't. Show me gas being pulled down. Show gas, demonstrate gas having a downward acceleration due to gravity.
Gas has weight.
Okay, only in a contained volume.
And weight is mass times gravity.
Well, that's what you say.
And since gas has weight, it has mass.
No, now this is all theorization and postulation. Can you demonstrate Air.
like in the
Listen to me.
container.
Listen to me. Can you demonstrate air having a downward acceleration due to gravity?
Fill a container with gas and weigh it.
Fill a what?
Weigh a container without
Weigh a
gas
container?
first,
Wait, a container?
and
So
then
the only
put
way
gas
that you
inside
can
it.
get a volume of gas is to contain it, which is going to put it in a state of disequilibrium. Interesting.
Gravity contains
Interesting.
it, so we're good.
Interesting.
We're good on the
So
container
that
part.
doesn't show that that gas is the air inside that container, is it all being shoved down to the bottom of the container, or is it filling the entire container?
As soon as we add gas,
I mean, could I have
into
a container that is half oxygen and half nothing?
No.
No.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
That just wouldn't be.
Wait
Yeah.
a second. Just a solid fucking line there. It's got oxygen, and then the rest of the cylinder, there's nothing.
They'll be all spread out, so you wouldn't be able to tell.
That's right. That's right. Because gas, you know why? Why isn't
But
gravity pulling? Why isn't
but
gravity
you
pulling it
definitely
all
do
down to the
run
bottom
out
of the
of
tank then?
oxygen.
Why doesn't the gravity just pull it all down into one chunk down in the bottom of the tank?
The other would be. What do you mean?
Well, that's only half full. Why wouldn't gravity be holding all the gas down to the bottom of the tank and leaving the top part empty?
It kind of does in
It does.
certain circumstances.
In what certain circumstances? When?
Like if you have a smaller balloon and a bigger balloon, and you have the little, and you put the little thing that you twist and you open them up, the smaller balloon fills the bigger balloon.
Well, why did you have to have a balloon in the first place?
That's just one demonstration.
Well, right, but why did it involve? Now I noticed that your first idea or demonstration involved a container, and so did your second one. Required a container of air in a state of disequilibrium.
To measure it, to actually weigh it, yeah.
So only a gas contained in a state of disequilibrium will have weight.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Gas has weight. That's it.
Does
But
it?
We can actually measure that weight.
It has weight.
We can actually measure that weight if it's in a container.
If it's in a container, right? So why can't you measure it outside of a container?
Because it would be practically impossible.
That's right. And so without containment, like we have now, which we measure in pressure, it would be impossible to have the pressure. 100%.
We have
because you know why, Luca? Because you have failed at demonstrating air having a downward acceleration due to gravity.
We have mass attracting mass.
I don't know. You keep saying that. You just keep saying that. So what? That's all it is you just saying that.
Have you done the Cavendish experiment yourself?
Dude, we just went over the Cavendish experiment. Okay. And we showed why it's not. I showed you exactly why it's nonsense. Okay.
Have you done?
So outside of your Cavendish experiment, where you think you saw mass attracting mass,
wait a minute.
Where have you ever seen masses attracting one another? It's specifically air.
But wait a minute. That's observation is the first.
Observation. What are you observing?
Method.
What are you observing?
Observation is the first step of the science.
What are you observing, and how do you prove what you're observing is what you say it is?
But I'm not smart enough to figure out what they figured out.
That's why they run that dumb shit on people just like you, because you're not smart.
I'll leave the working out to them.
See, yeah, that's why they run roughshod right over you. It's because you're not smart. Yeah, you'll buy whatever the fuck they tell you.
Definitely. I can't like break down Newton's
Then how do you know
law.
they're right? If you're not smart, how do you know they're right?
I trust them.
Why?
Well, because they should know.
Well, they should. Have they ever lied to you before?
No,
No,
no.
no.
Well, unless everything is a lie.
No, it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Have they
Well,
ever lied to you before?
no.
No.
Yeah, they've never lied to me before.
Okay. Well, then you are way more stupid than I thought you were.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the doctors are lying.
Which ones?
According to you, the ones that provide the vaccine, right?
Well, there's a lot of doctors out there that have spoken out against it and spoken about against all the shit for the last 3 years. Why didn't you listen to any of them?
I did.
You did?
I took the vaccine.
I know. Then why didn't you listen to the fucking doctors that warned about it? You didn't listen to them, but you
Because
listened to the other
I
ones.
never heard about any that warned against
Why
it.
not? I did.
I didn't.
I
I
did.
didn't hear anything about that.
Put a one in the chat if you heard any doctors speaking out against the stuff from the last 3 years or the last 4 years. Put a one in the chat
Can
if
I
you
have a
have
link?
just a second. Anybody out there, go ahead. Put a one in the chat if you saw any doctors or medical professionals out there speaking out against the protocols of the last 4 years. There's a one. There's
Like social distancing and stuff. That was a protocol. Social distancing.
so. Let me ask
Wearing
you
a
something.
mask. Huh?
Do you think that the narrative behind that bullshit has aged well?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, all this stuff about you got to trust, and if you don't do it, you're going to die, and all this other bullshit that they were running.
Well, nothing
And
bad
now we
happened
see,
to me.
and what do we see now? What do we see now? Well, there's this thing now that it never existed before called turbo cancer. We got people of very young ages just keeling over fucking dead and having heart attacks and shit. I mean, kind of like these doctors that I was just mentioning were almost like prophets, because they called it. And
But they wouldn't do that. Those
what
are
do you mean?
human lives.
So what's that mean?
Their job is to protect us, not kill
Oh,
us.
really? You think that? Really? What makes you think that?
Well, I haven't died.
Yet?
I've been to many doctor's appointments
good
and
for
had
you.
many vaccines and stuff.
I can tell.
But I'm
I
good.
can tell. I can tell that you've probably had every vaccine they give.
You probably had at least one.
Oh yeah, back when I was a kid, couldn't avoid it. Yeah. But when do you think the last time I let a doctor stick some shit in me was?
Probably when you were a kid.
It's been several decades.
Okay.
Several decades. Okay.
So when was the
Guess
last?
how many times I got sick the last 4 years?
How many?
0. Guess how many times I wore a face diaper?
How
0.
many?
Guess how many times I stayed 6 feet away? 0.
How many? Oh dear. That's not good.
Why? I'm fine. Everybody around me is fine.
Oh yeah, because everyone else was taking the
No. In fact, I pride myself in knowing that the majority of the people that I know and have in my life were not stupid enough to do that. I do know some people that were, and they're kind of regretting their decision. I know that.
Yeah, because I know one COVID denier died of COVID.
Yeah, do
dear,
you? Do you? Who
that's
was he? Who was
embarrassing.
he? Who was he? You know him? Who was he?
Well, I read about it.
Oh, you read about it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
you read
ironic,
about it.
isn't
You
it?
don't really know that. You just know that there was a story out there around the same time that they were trying to coerce everybody into
It's
this
ironic.
that said that that happened, right?
It's
Okay.
ironic, though.
Huh?
It's ironic that he
It's probably not. You know what? It's
What?
not only ironic, it's not even true. It's a made up story.
Look, unless
Oh, and
everyone
it's
is
made up and lied to you by the very people you trust.
okay, so unless everyone is either lying or wrong, then yes, I guess.
What do you mean,
there are
everyone?
people.
Didn't you see all the
Lying,
ones? Didn't
wrong.
you see? Hey, didn't you see all the ones in the chat by people
but
who said that
unless
they'd
all
heard
of the
from
doctors-
multiple
Yeah, but
medical
unless
experts,
unless
contrary to what the narrative was?
unless all of the teachers,
So it doesn't sound like
all of the
everybody.
physicists, all of the scientists, all of
What
the
scientists?
people that have PhDs,
What name
are
one
all-
scientist? Name
are
one.
all either wrong or lying, then I guess you are right.
I just told you that there were a bunch of scientists and experts that didn't fucking agree.
Why are you saying scientists like that? Are you saying they weren't scientists?
I'm telling you, is a doctor a scientist?
No.
It's not.
Well, doctors, different
Doctors don't use science.
different professionals aren't. Well, different professional. You can know more about one thing than you do another.
Right. So, what kind of scientists were behind this whole thing?
I guess the
Medical scientists?
Yeah, medical science.
Medical scientists. Oh my God. That are basically doctors. How about that? Now, do you think it would be at all possible that there are doctors out there, and just given how our society is, that could be easily coerced with large sums of money?
They
especially if it meant that if you diagnose a case, you get a certain amount of
they,
money.
they aren't the
If
same.
you put somebody in the hospital with that case, you get a certain other amount of money. If a person dies in the hospital, you get another amount of money for it. You don't think that that might have some incentive to push this?
They are both within the healthcare system, sure, but medical scientists and doctors aren't the same.
Mm-hmm. So, several medical professionals came out speaking against this.
Link citation.
Sorry, buddy, you're just gonna have to go look those up yourself, my friend. You just saw enough testimony right here in my chat of people who saw. Look at this whole strings of ones. Angela Elevation says 1 times 1,000. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Come on, they're everywhere. These ones are everywhere in the chat. So the fact that you're too ignorant and buried into your master's butthole that you don't know anything that's going on is not my problem. That's a you problem. You understand? I'm sorry you're so ill-informed. That's a you problem. Right?
Look, I haven't seen any.
I don't give a fuck what you've seen.
Like I haven't.
You just admitted to me that you're not very bright. You don't know how to use your own brains. You've got your head so far up the man's ass that I don't think you could ever see daylight. I mean, people like you make me want to puke, man. Boot licking, holster sniffing, fucking government dogs like you, man.
And
I can't stand them. I can't stand those people, man. They make me want to fucking vomit. I can't
So-
believe people that would trust such an evil fucking entity as their own government, much less the little fingers that come out from it. That's a sick-minded person to me, man. They're a dangerous person. I think it's sick
I'm gonna
shit,
look it
man.
up.
You're gonna look what up?
That medical professionals warned against taking the vaccine.
Where are you gonna go? Google? Why don't you go look
Yeah.
go on Rumble? Go on Rumble and look. Go on Rumble and look. Go to some place that's not opposition. Go to some place that's not trying to fuck with your brain. That might be a good idea.
So what? Just one thing compared to hundreds of other things?
Hundreds of other things. There's hundreds of videos on Rumble, fool. Go on BitChute and look for it. You'll find hundreds of videos on there. If you were so earnest in looking into both sides as you are at spouting the nonsense of your masters, you might actually have some brains about you, but you won't. Because you got somebody that's decided they're going to feed you bullshit and have you come on these platforms and try to pull your bullshit. No, that's the reality of that.
MHI confirmed on 18th March 2021 that the evidence does not suggest that blood clots are caused by COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah.
AstraZeneca and assured that the benefits of the vaccine in preventing COVID-19.
All right, so we're gonna be the end of it. I'm just gonna endlessly read fucking Google articles to me. I don't have patience for that tonight. I'm done anyways. I'm good. But anyway, I want to tell Lore Lodge. There's what's the character's name? Aiden Mattis. Aiden. Bring it. You mouthy little bastard. Bring it. You know what I'm saying? You boastfully told everyone that you could take us all on, which I don't think you, I think in one capacity you probably could, but not intellectually. So I'll just leave it at that. So, yeah, I know the athletes, and there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of shit going on. Yeah, they get, I can help the handicap. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm going to get off here. It's coming up on 3 hours. That's plenty of time for me. I've only got a few more episodes of the Vikings to watch. Pretty interesting show. They're kind of like medieval bikers in a way, if you think about it. But anyway, they seem to enjoy what they did. Anyway, we'll be back on again tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Monday night. So yeah, hey, why not? As we always like to say on here, don't forget the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey and see your doctor and get rid of him. And we'll see y'all the next time on Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Y'all have yourselves a great evening.